You're listening to The Fellas with Anthony McCoy,
Listen, man, that wasn't my fault. It was an unknown error.
Rich Thurston,
Someone said it was like the Bulls never changed their passwords, and Tibbs just popped in and did an auto trade.
Kev Lund,
We're out here doing this podcast, and these fools are out here blowing Super Bowls. Like, let's switch that up. Pay me a cool million, and I'll call the right place. I promise you.
and Kyle Straub.
When one of those point guards is James Harden, yes, the answer is yes, they are a better team.
You're just gonna have that music playing?
Abso-fucking-lutely. Christmas time, buddy.
Just asking.
Yep.
Green and red on, man.
The Grinch over there.
Nah, his
With that
inner
nog.
spirit.
That nog. We find out eggnog is McCoy's lean.
Well, with that, we'll welcome you to another recording of The Fellas. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Less than a week until Christmas. The music is playing because I love Christmas. You got to deal with it. Sorry. So, cheers to everybody. If you don't like it, tune out this week. We'll be back in another one. Sorry about that, but something I know a lot of our viewers do like are the NBA and Lakers. And there was some big shit last night that happened with the NBA and the Lakers specifically. Rich, I'll let you take it away because I didn't get to see any of it because the NBA fucked up and put it on NBA TV. But Kobe Bryant got his 2 jerseys put up in the rafters. Thoughts, feelings?
You know, it was something that was gonna happen. It was bound to happen. Yo, that shit is so loud, son. Like, what the fuck are
Yo,
we
that
doing
shit is
right
whack
now?
too, son.
Christmas Carol
All right.
ass.
All right.
Fucking bitches.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Grinches.
God, talking about fucking Kobe, Rich. His fucking Silent Night is loud. Jesus Christ. It was, I don't know, he was going to get his jersey retired. It always should have been both numbers, and now it's done. It
So,
was whack
but-
that I couldn't watch it, but whatever.
Before we get to that part, because that is ridiculous if they put it on NBA TV, but the 2 numbers, like, I agree with you that they both should be put up there, but I'm sure there were some people that didn't think so, because I don't think anybody ever had 2 numbers
No,
retired,
he's the
have they?
only one ever.
So I'm sure there's some that are going to be out there, especially Kobe haters. You know, there's those people that are out there, they're going to be like, that's ridiculous. He had 2 Hall of Fame careers, though, right?
Yes. He scored it's like 100-point difference. What the fuck are you drinking? Yo, man, you gotta stop with all this shit that's
Drinking
going
that
on
wine,
right now.
man.
man.
That's all
I'm
he's
drinking
playing
some
that
juice
flavor.
right now. What are you
Yeah.
talking
Fuck is
about?
juice.
Every time I start to talk, some shit happens. What is going on?
Listen, I warned you like 40 minutes ago when I sent the text out in the group chat
Yo,
and said
know,
I was
but
drinking
didn't
and getting
expect
on here.
A nice, delicate glass.
It's some wine, man.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying some wine
Oh,
right now.
Oh, that shit is
God.
filthy,
Sitting by the
son.
fire.
You know how nasty wine is?
Right? You stand up and have a robe on.
Go suck on a rock from
No,
the bottom
Rob,
of the
listen,
pond, son.
I got a Toad shirt on. Grow up, son.
Yeah.
Literally.
That wine is
Fucking
filthy.
mushroom, isn't it?
It's an interesting shirt to wear when you're drinking the wine and shit, like, in the Christmas season.
It's juice.
All right, so
What the fuck is juice?
That drink.
oh man, I don't know. Yeah, he had 2 Hall of Fame careers in 2 different numbers.
What else
Did
is
you
gonna
see?
pop
Did
up?
you see the post game stuff when they did interviews with him and somebody asked him, because obviously this will happen as well. He's going to get a statue. They're not going to do 2 statues.
That'd be
Which
dope if
number
they did.
would he prefer? Did you see that interview?
No.
They're gonna have one
So
on the
before-
front and one on the back,
Yeah,
son.
word.
I was
No,
gonna
that's
say
a,
that.
you know what? That's a pretty good idea, Kev. I didn't think about that.
Copyright that, Kev. Send it to him.
Right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hook him up.
Yeah.
But the question was just straightforward. Which one would you prefer? And he answered. Before I give you the answer, which one do you think he went with?
24.
Yeah.
What about you, McCoy? Everybody thinks 2-4?
You know
So he
I'm
did
going
go with
2-4.
2-4. His reasoning was because it was so much harder.
So I was
like
in
8
not
did-
check.
He said
AKA
8 did,
without
he
check.
said 8 did things
Yeah.
that not many people could ever do, but 24 was a struggle every day to get up, go through the injuries, and play every single game and every season and all that. That was a little surprising to me.
You know what was
I
surprising
know.
to me
Obviously,
about the
Rich,
whole
you
thing?
watch him more, but what's that?
You know what was surprising to me about the whole thing was the speech, because he just wanted to be like, yeah, I'm Kobe Bryant, I'm the man, I did that.
He's got to
Mamba
stop
out.
saying Mamba out. Bro.
Mamba.
Like, I love that dude, but he's corny as fuck.
Son, he's saying at his Hall of Fame induction too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
he
corny
sure
then too.
Yes, sir.
It's weird because he scored like 100 points less as 24 than he did as 8. Like, it's just like a 100-point difference in his career total.
Really, I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, it's like identical down the line.
How many years was the
It's 10
24?
and
10 and 10?
10. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Did
It
he
was
Why did he
96
switch
to-
his number to begin with?
Well, I read something on the Undefeated about it. It was mad long. It was like
Well, of course.
one person wrote as number 8 and the other person wrote as number 24. And it was like some people think he did it because he just got off the rape case and he needed a new image. And like 24 would be like, oh, we can go get Kobe's new jersey. It's a new Kobe. Other people thought it was because he signed with Nike and his most popular shoe with Adidas was the Crazy 8s. So he was like, we can't still have him being a Nike client with the number 8
Yeah.
when those are their most popular shoes.
His
But he
first
said it
Kobe's
was-
were ugly as hell with Adidas,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. And
New fucking shoes.
he said it was just
classics,
because
huh?
it was like a maturity thing.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a new chapter in his life and stuff like that. So
I bet you a lot of it was the Nike thing. Though.
yeah. Uh-huh.
You know, they're giving the man $100 million. Like, you need to go ahead and change your number, Kobe. Like,
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
I have a theory, and it's not my own. I heard it during the interview. It was on ESPN, and they had this whole like montage of former Lakers, Worthy and Magic, and people talking about him. And it was one of them. Actually, I think it was Julius Erving that said this. Kobe Bryant switched numbers halfway through his career because he thought, hey, I could get both numbers retired. Nobody's ever done that before.
Yeah, don't
that-
put that past him either. Like
is that
That's,
like
that's
some
Rich.
shit
That's
Kobe was
exactly
thinking
what I
about.
thought. As soon as he said that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. He
Does
could
that
do
happen
that.
in any sport?
No.
No, I don't think anybody has ever switched numbers because numbers mean so much in sports.
Yeah, right.
I know
But
in
they just don't-
basketball, on that thing I read, it said, like, Jordan wore a different number, the 45, but it was, like, only for a few, it wasn't
Yeah,
long
he had
enough.
to.
No, they were like, no one
Yeah,
wore,
I mean, that
changed
doesn't really
it
count.
as
It's not like it was
dramatically
different. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. No one changed it as dramatically as Kobe did.
Randy Moss, huh?
At least,
Yeah, but it wasn't with the same team.
yeah, it wasn't just, hey, I want to switch my
Yeah,
numbers.
true.
You know, because if you want to do that, you could say, all right,
Yo,
LeBron had to change numbers when he
he-
went to Miami, but it's not the same thing.
He wanted to do it immediately. Like, he wanted to change it in the middle of the season, but they missed the deadline. Like,
So,
and
yeah, I remember
when
that
he
because they
wanted-
brought up the whole Mike thing when he decided he was done with 45 and wanted to go back to 23 and started getting fined for doing it.
Yeah, he started the 06 season with 8, and when the playoffs started, he wanted to wear 24. Mm-hmm. But they were like, no, you can't do that.
He just wanted to do it starting in the playoffs.
Well, that was when he made up his mind. He was like, this is when I'm going to change
No.
it. But he missed the
What-
cutoff by like
Yeah,
3
man.
days.
Wasn't that around the same time that Michael decided to, too?
No, I thought he played the half season in 95 of 45, and then when he started the 96 season, he was 23 again.
Yeah, but I thought the controversy was when they got to the playoffs, he wanted to go back to 23. Like they were
he did.
down, and he wanted to go back to 23 because it was Mike time. Like I don't lose in
Yeah,
23. I
true.
wanted to go back to that number. I feel like I remember that, and he got fined because
Yeah, he
wore
got
it
fined
for a
$100
game.
grand.
Yeah, yep.
I'm sure he cares about that.
I mean, obviously he cared enough because he only wore it once. Kobe
Yeah,
didn't even
back
bother
then he
doing
wasn't
it.
getting banked, I guess. Like,
Yeah, $100,000 back then.
Yeah.
That's like $500,000
Yeah.
nowadays.
where,
I'm not wearing a different number for $500,000.
Rich, where do you think Kobe ranks all time as far as a Laker?
Well, Magic needs to stop saying he's the best. Like that shit needs to stop.
He's not,
Because he's not
ahead
better
of
than
Magic.
Magic.
Hold on, Rich. Can I stop you for a second though? Like, and I'm not stopping you because I think that Kobe's the best.
Uh-huh.
Magic is a showman.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna say what he needs to say
Oh,
on
no,
that
I
kind of a
know.
night, like to
But
hype that person. You know what I mean?
You know what? Yeah, I get that, and I get what
Showtime.
he's doing. But like,
Like I bet if you actually asked, if you were friends with Magic and you were able to have an honest conversation with him, he's gonna tell you he was the best player ever.
well, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. But I think like, I don't know. I just want people to be honest about it. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying you're like the third best Laker.
So
Like,
I'm
that's-
with you
like,
100%. I can't stand. I
No.
can't stand that it's gotten to the point where with the media and sports figures, people got to lie and save face and basically be politically correct with who's the best player ever. Well, I
You
want
gotta
to be
make
politically
everybody feel
correct. It's
good.
Kobe's night, so it's Kobe. Nah, man, speak your mind. It's sports.
I mean, if you go with on the court, right? Like just on the court stuff, I think it's Magic. If you go with like the whole thing, like off the court and on the court, it's got to be Jerry West.
Oh, you're
Jerry
talking about
West,
like
the
his
logo.
career
Yeah,
as a
because
GM and all that.
Jerry West went to 9 finals. He only won one of them. Like
That's
he's the
awful.
logo. Yeah, it is.
That man is at a 10% winning percentage in the finals.
Like-
Like,
He's the logo.
yeah.
And then he became their GM, and he put together the Showtime Lakers, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, and then he was a part of the Grizzlies when they got Pau Gasol. Like he's helped the Lakers in every way you can. Like he is the Lakers.
Word. That dude's your franchise right there.
Yeah. So on the
would
floor,
you think Magic is better than was better than Kareem, his career?
yeah, because Kareem played in Milwaukee. Like if we're going like,
Okay, because he didn't do the whole career.
and Magic, when Magic came in, he rejuvenated. Like he brought Kareem back. Like Kareem was old when Magic came in, and all of a sudden, like there's
No,
always
I know that. I just know that. Like for me, Kareem the player, I think was probably better,
Oh, Kareem might be the best player ever. Like if you really
Like-
want to break it down, like he could be the best player ever.
and that's an argument that I could actually have. But if you tried to have that with me with Magic, no.
Yo, you
And
know
Magic
what,
was
son?
Magic was fantastic, but not the best ever. You know that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what?
But I get it with him leaving and not being there the whole career. That's why you don't put him there.
You know what Dr.
What, Kev?
Bus was to Magic? A surrogate father, son.
Sure was.
It's like, really? Kev, I'm gonna credit you on the transition here. We'll get out of the LA and the Laker talk for a second and go to another of Rich's boys,
That's
Luke
right.
May. Luke.
Yeah, what the hell?
Tar Heels on the road, top 25 team took on
Top 5
Tennessee.
team now.
No. They took on a top 25 team because Rich's defense was Luke May puts up numbers, but he doesn't do it against anybody that's any good. Tennessee, top 25 team,
That doesn't
15.
mean they're good, son.
15-8. They're good.
They were ranked 20th. And
They're
it was
like
a
20th.
in
They're a good team.
their
Okay,
stadium.
that means they're like one bad game for not being ranked, son.
Well, they lost.
It
to
also
number
means
5
they're
Tar
two
Heels.
they're 2 wins from being in the top 10.
Man, I thought you were going to talk about the women's coach getting that 1,000th win.
I was getting there because I actually called her 998th game. Sylvia Hatchell, third ever on the women's side to get to 1,000 wins today.
Who's she
Congratulations
behind
to her.
Oriema and
No,
Summit?
Gino Oriema, as we speak, is going for 1,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ain't
that
that
was
some
wild
shit?
to me when
How
I
did-
saw that.
Right? How weird is it that works out with sports sometimes? How, like, you get 1,000 wins. In the history of the sport, only 2 people had done it. And then on the same night, 2 more people do it.
I thought that was wild, and I thought that the fact that Gino's behind this
Yeah, well-
Sylvia chick, like I never even heard of this.
I've
chick.
heard about it,
Sylvia
right?
has been at it far longer than Gino has.
Gino got his 1,000 wins in like 10 years, Kev.
Yeah, I know.
Although I don't know if he'll be the fastest. I think Pat Summit may be faster to 1,000, but I'm not positive on that. It's pretty close between those two.
He
But
got
yeah,
them
Sylvia,
rings, so it
Sylvia
don't
has been
matter.
coaching probably a decade longer than Gino Oriema has.
Yeah.
Like she's. I'm not going to say anything else on this. Go ahead.
UConn men and women, I guess they got the rings, huh?
That's right.
Yeah, the men's side gets it at
Dominating
UNC too.
college basketball.
We got one. Listen, Sylvia won one.
1 in 1,000 wins.
Yo, Gino Ariema, like, makes me really laugh when I see him. Because, like, what he's done is amazing, but no one really gives a shit. And you know that shit bothers the fuck out of him. Like, I'm not saying I don't care. Like, I think that shit is dope no matter what sport you're in if you can dominate it like that. It's just that in the grand, like, scheme of shit, no one cares.
Society
Yeah.
side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, he
The-
walks
the
in a
general
room with,
public.
like... Yeah, right? Like, and even if he walks in a room with, like, Coach Cal, Coach K, Roy Williams, and all them, they're like, yeah, man, but, you know.
You go sit over
Yeah.
there, man.
Yeah, like, yeah, we get you, Gino. You're good at this.
You have the eggnog. We're
Yeah.
gonna drink this.
All right, man. Don't be keeping there with him.
Gino
So,
McCullough.
yo, listen, this conversation actually came up at a men's UNC game that I was working recently, and I was like, I don't get why Gino never has, or even to this day, left, because you know that there's other opportunities that are on the men's side, which would give him more exposure and more money. Then I looked up how much this dude makes at UConn.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Why
ever looked it
leave?
up? Like Rich
No.
clearly has. McCoy, Kev, have you?
No,
Take
no.
a guess. What do you think he makes?
Like a couple million a year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like women's side, couple
Yeah.
mil a year is hot.
2 or
This
3.
dude makes $11 million a
Damn,
year
I
to
was
be
gonna
a
say-
coach at UConn.
I was gonna say like 5
I'm
is
not
probably
leaving.
I'm
balling.
not leaving
Ever.
ever, son.
Hell no,
He's
you're
got a
winning.
monopoly in the
paid-
sport.
That's got to be one of the highest paid.
He's the highest paid
NCAA
college
coaches.
basketball coach across the board, men's or women's.
Yeah, but like even football coaches are getting that, right? Like, how much does
Yeah, I
Nick
think
Saban
Nick
make?
Saban
You know?
makes like 12, maybe
Yeah,
13,
right. Like that dude's
14
definitely
area.
one of the highest paid college coaches. Then, regardless.
Yeah,
of sport.
so to him, he doesn't give a shit, and good for him for surpassing the, you're just a women's coach. Yep, but I'm
Listen,
dominating it, I'm
I'll
winning
coach
what I'm
whatever
winning, and
for
I'm
$1
getting
million.
paid to
Yeah.
do it.
I think that's something that we say again because we're broke. Like we don't have $11 million in the bank. Because once you get to that point and you walk in that room, it's like Roy being like heartbroken that like people think he's cheating. Like it bothers him that like those guys don't respect him.
I don't think it does, though, with Gino. Have you ever
I
seen
think
him speak?
I think
Y'all
it
can
definitely
respect
does.
this mansion I'm about to be living in.
Yeah,
like-
but, yeah, but they all got mansions too.
Nah,
Like,
bro,
but I don't
he's
think-
taking pay cuts,
he-
pay raises.
He's got rings, son.
But I don't
Yeah.
think he's also interacting with men's coaches very often. So there's
Yeah.
not
Can
that,
he flaunt
that
those rings?
contingent, you know?
Yeah, can he flash his rings on like Coach Cal's face, or is Coach Cal like, yeah, okay, Gino?
Can he? Can he
You know,
wear?
I mean, he
all
can,
those?
because what does Coach Cal
Cal's
have?
Coach Cal, hold on.
You know
Coach Cal's got
is
one
getting
ring.
on
What's he
him,
going to
son.
do to Gino's 50?
Okay, I mean,
I mean, if
I
you
don't-
want to talk about somebody else, then sure, but
no, because even Coach Cal's one ring means more to all of us than all of Gino's.
no, it
Like, I'm
doesn't.
not saying it's right. I'm not
Does it
saying
to
it's
you?
fair. I'm
Does
just
it to
saying
you,
that-
though, Rich?
I mean, yeah, because I feel like it's not because it's women, it's because he's doing it in a harder like situation. Like it's harder to coach men's basketball because not as many girls play basketball. Like there's not as many like
There's not as big a
The
talent.
talent pool isn't
exactly
there.
like, and he gets all of them.
Yeah.
But even when he doesn't, they still win.
I don't know when he doesn't, Kyle. Ever since
Right,
I've been
because
12,
every
this
year-
dude's
All
been
right,
getting
all right. So
everyone.
here's a perfect example. 4 years ago, UNC had the number 1 overall recruiting class. They had one of those Coach Cal type recruiting classes where the 4 top girls in the class, or 4 of the top like 6 or 7, got together. They were friends, and they were like, "We're all going to the same spot." They
Well,
went to
that's
the
what-
Elite Eight, and then 3 of them transferred out.
Why they transfer?
Different reasons.
I don't know what that story was supposed to tell me.
Well, the story that I'm getting to is if that happens every year, well, with Gino Auriemma, if that's what happens, he's getting those girls. He's winning. Sylvia Hatchell has won 1,000 games and still didn't get past the Elite Eight, and then couldn't even keep them here. Gino Auriemma doesn't get the top kids every year because that year, guess who won the national championship? When 4 of the top 6 recruits went somewhere else.
Yeah, but
Connecticut. Gino
that's
Auriemma.
because
Like the
the
dude
last
knows
2
how to
years,
coach.
3 years before that, he got the top recruiting class. You know.
Yeah, I mean, he probably has one of the top 3 every year, but he
Right.
also knows what the hell he's doing. Look at the U.S. women's national team.
Didn't he have like Sue Bird and like Tamika Catchings and all them like
He's
back to
had-
back?
he's
Like
had
like
prob-
like
if
every
you-
good
All the
basketball player
WNBA
out
If you go,
there
greats.
is
if you
UConn.
go through the last, if you go through the last 20 years, or just the history of college basketball, and say take the top 50, he's probably had 3/4 of them.
All the female
But I feel like,
basketball
but
players
I feel
can
like a
tell you.
large reason for
Yeah.
that is because he's taught them, he's developed them. What'd you say, Kev?
I said all the female players we can name off. He's had like 98% of them.
Yeah.
A little bit
Diana
less, but
Taurasi.
yeah. But I feel like that's because he's developed them. He's made them that.
And they won rings.
But they
They
won
were
rings
the top
because of
players
him.
coming in, so it's
And
not
they
like
all
they
stay
weren't good to
4
begin
years,
with.
right? Do people leave early in women's college basketball, or do they stay 3
Only
or 4
only
years?
from Connecticut.
Doesn't like Brittany Griner or whatever, or Grenier or whatever.
went to
She wasn't
Baylor,
on
right?
UConn.
She went to Baylor.
I
She
know
was
she
there
wasn't
for
on UConn,
she was there for
but-
3 years and then she
Right.
left. But even when she was there, they only won 1 title. UConn still beat them twice.
Well, that's because, like we've been saying, like they get that one,
Yeah.
he gets 2 through 10,
Every year,
and then the other years he gets 1 through 10.
when it's
Then
like
why?
yeah,
All
you
right,
have
so
all these seniors like.
Then why doesn't
juniors
Cal
are
do it
number
then?
1 player?
Because it's harder in college basketball, in men's college basketball.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I think we're discrediting how good of a coach he is. And maybe that's because the women's game just isn't as deep and isn't as talented.
Man, I put a fly ass shot from the WNBA finals, and I got like 2 thumbs downs from you and McCoy just hating on. Don't sit here and try to stick up for like that shit was fly as hell. It tied the
I'm
game,
not-
sent it to
I'm
overtime.
not
It was like, nah,
stick-
fuck women's basketball. That shit is trash. And it's like now you're gonna sit here and try to defend Gio Auriemma and his coaching prowess.
Yeah, like that has nothing to do
boy,
with the
son.
game
That's
of
his
women's
boy, Gino.
basketball. That has to do with him as a coach. That's all.
Okay.
What does
Sorry,
that have?
Gino's your
Wait.
boy.
What does that have to do with the game versus him as a coach?
Because if the game is that bad, right, and he's getting the top recruits every year, and everyone around him is that
Why is
trash,
he getting the top recruits?
Because he's built up a great program.
They
But
have
he
a
was winning.
powerhouse.
But he was winning without them first.
Yeah, but you're acting like he's winning with like 50 and 60 ranked recruits.
No,
he's
no,
still
I'm not.
getting. Yes, you are. You're like those years he doesn't get them. Yeah, those years he doesn't get them. He's still getting like 6 of the top 10. And the years before when he doesn't get them, he's still getting 1 through 5 or 1 through 10.
I think you're overestimating how many he gets. Like there's the Baylors, the Stanfords, the Notre Dames, the South Carolina who beat UConn last year.
Well-
the Louisville. There's a bunch of other college
They
basketball
won
teams
100
and
fucking
women's
games
basketball
in
that
a
get
row,
them.
Kyle.
They're
What's
bound to
the-
lose one.
Right, son. He's
No,
filling
that-
every
They're-
roster
they're
spot he
winning
needs
rings
as a
this
top
year,
player,
trust me.
Like,
But I think he develops them into top players even if they're not a top recruit. Like
When
they
you win 100 games in a row, it's some shit around you is trash.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, but to have like the best
Please
players
ask me why
ever.
Coach Cal didn't win 100 games in a row ever.
Yeah,
Because,
I
like
mean,
you
it's-
said, it's harder in the men's game. The talent pool is
Exactly.
larger.
So
but
you
all
just
I'm
have to
getting
get a
at is
few.
if in his career he continually turns out another player who's the best college player ever, and then there's another one and another one, that's got to be his coaching ability as well.
I think at first you can say it's his coaching ability, and then when you build up the program, it's easier to go get those top players, and it's like, go do your thing, ladies.
yeah, he doesn't have
So
to
you think
recruit
the
any
you
of
think the
these
game has
kids.
just evolved that every year there's just players that are better than what they have been in the past?
Wasn't that what happens? Isn't that you can say that? In any
I mean,
sport,
when's the last time in college basketball somebody's like, wow, that's the best player I've ever seen in college basketball? Hadn't happened in our lifetime.
right? Weren't people talking about Ben Simmons like that?
No. Nobody ever compared him to Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like, that dude was the best ever.
But see,
Hands down, no argument.
Tyler Hansbrough.
There you go.
I had a little bird in the back of my head that was like, McCoy's going to say this.
Psycho T.
But no, it doesn't happen that often in the men's game. That even a guy comes around, even if people said, like, wanted to talk about Ben Simmons, before him or after him, there hasn't been anybody.
Because they don't stay.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I mean, that's a recent
Yeah,
thing.
what top player is gonna stay 4 years in college? Like who's
That's
the
Like
last?
all those
literally-
guys you
but that's-
mentioned,
that's literally
Strub,
just the
stayed
last 10
4
years, though.
years.
But who's
it's just
the
the last-
last really good 4-year college player like that?
Can't call
That's
it.
like a star in the league. Tim
like I
Duncan?
just said, it's only the last 10 years that people have been leaving early.
It's longer than that.
No,
People
son.
always left
That shit
early,
did not
son.
happen in
They-
2007.
Dudes used to come out of high school all the time, son.
Yeah.
But they didn't go to college, so there was no talk about them being the best college player.
Kobe was the first guard to ever select.
If cats are coming out of high school early, you don't think they were leaving college early?
Right?
There
He
was
said-
no,
Yeah,
they
one and
weren't
done.
allowed to leave after 1 year. It had to have been 2.
Yeah, but like Lou Cinder wasn't coming out of high school. So what we're trying to say here, Straub, is that the Kobe's of the world, if they would have went to college for 4 years, probably
Okay,
would have
that
been
I'll
the best.
yeah, that I'll buy. Okay.
They probably would have been. I'm glad. Just some clarification there. Sip on that juice.
I need clarification today. I'm drinking juice.
That's funny.
So
But,
back to this UNC game. There was also something that
Forgot
almost
that's what we were
happened.
talking about.
Oh, it absolutely is, son. We talked for Lakers stuff for a while. I want to
No, I
talk
said I
about
forgot
UNC.
that's what we were talking
Yeah,
about.
son.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
broke up in my ears. Theo
Turn your
Pinson.
music down.
There's no music on, son. I want it back on. Theo Pinson almost had a triple double for UNC.
Who is that?
It's happened a couple of times
Pinson.
this year. You really who? He's going to be in the NBA actually.
Okay, I'll
this
worry
is why I
about him when
brought
he
it
gets
up.
there.
Huh?
I'll worry about him when he gets there.
Okay. Well, we're going to talk about it now. Me and McCoy can at least. So it almost happened a couple of times, and I told McCoy it's only happened at UNC twice in their history.
A triple double?
Yeah, son.
Y'all had some bombs.
No, well, all right. Listen, it's only happened. It's only happened 24
always
times
get
in
the
the
best
history of
ever,
the
yeah.
ACC. It's college basketball. It's a different game. Triple
really
double's
recruited
not
better,
something
you
that just
could.
happens. So if you now know that there's 2 times in the history, who would you guess did it?
Sam Perkins
Ooh,
and
big
James
smooth.
Worthy.
Those are really good guesses.
I know they are.
no.
I know my
Psycho T.
No. Honestly, it's another good guess. The way he played, what he did in college
but
ball.
what-
Good.
shit. Rashad
What?
McCants.
No.
Damn, I really
Who's that?
wanted it to be Rashad
Who?
McCants. Oh, hold.
Who?
Oh, yeah, I already asked that question.
Sean May.
No.
Oh God, that'd be another one.
was-
I don't think May and
Do you wanna
Nick
take more
Hansbrough
guesses?
could get a
I do.
triple-double,
I just want to think
honestly.
of random UNC players that go to my head.
All right, good. I like this game.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's his name? Oh God. Ed
Give me
Cota.
this. No.
Yeah, Ed was the man.
Antoine
He was.
Jameson.
No.
Rasheed Wallace.
No.
Rasheed
It's not she.
Um,
Just listing off studs.
Who was that big dude? Haywood.
Nope, it was not Danny. Yes, Kev.
Brendan
Kev,
Haywood
Yes,
got
Brendan
one?
Haywood got the
With-
first ever
with
triple
what?
double at UNC.
Oh my
When he
God.
got it, son, when he
The
got it,
first
he hit
one?
the
Oh,
first
my
ever.
God. First one?
The
The block,
first ever,
son.
and when he got it, he had 10 blocks in the game to get it.
Well, yeah, he wasn't getting assists. I like. You
Yo,
gotta
I
tell
was
me
just
that
gonna
for me
say
to know.
UNC definitely had nobody with 10 assists.
So it happened after Brendan Haywood, which is like 2000, like what, one?
When Brendan Haywood got it, it was
Had to be around there.
2000 and I brought up the article because when I heard these 2 names, I was like, "What in the freaking hell?" It was 2000.
Okay. So after 2000, let me think.
All right, so hold on. I will give you a hint because there's no way in hell you even know this person played at
dude
UNC. 10 days later, North Carolina got their second ever triple double.
And then that's it, son.
10 days later.
10 days later.
10 days later, they got
2
their
in 10
second
days and
triple
then
double.
none ever. What the
And
fuck?
ever, son. It's a good week and a half.
For
Historic,
Brennan,
son.
hold on. For Brennan Haywood's game, it was against the U. He had 18 points, 14 rebounds, 10 blocks, and then on the 17th against Buffalo, this person had
Boys,
16
wow.
points,
Can I
11
pull up the
rebounds, and
roster
10
and
Getting in the
assists.
playoffs.
Can I pull up the roster and look at names?
Sure. Because at that point, it's just a crapshoot. Like, you're not going to. Well, you may recognize his name.
Yeah,
But-
he would.
Yeah.
Julius Peppers.
No,
No.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I forgot Peps was on that team.
Look at that. I know more about your team than you do.
Peps.
You just had to look it up, son.
No, I said it before it even came up.
Oh, okay.
Jason Cable.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's who it was.
Yeah. Fuck that, dude.
Yep.
Who?
Brendan Haywood, Jason Capel, 10 days apart.
Jason
Only 2
Capel.
people who've ever had a triple-double at UNC.
I just remember Brendan Haywood from basketball video games.
Yeah.
So there's a dude that's
And
on
people
UNC.
like
He's a
LeBron.
freshman. And
This team is trash.
what's that?
Ronald Curry. Ronald Curry.
Oh yeah, he was.
Curry
Listen,
was the
Ronald
football
Curry. Hold on,
player.
Ronald
Yeah,
Curry
man.
was our starting quarterback. So I'm not upset
People
with him
thought
sucking
Ronald
it.
Curry in Virginia. They thought he might be better than Mike Vick.
Yeah.
Well, those people are stupid.
No, he was nice in high school in Virginia.
Right, two sport athlete out there playing quarterback and point guard.
Oh my God, this team is
Charlie
trash.
Ward, son?
Yes, and that's why me and
Ward.
McCoy don't like Jason Capel. That was the team that ended up
he
winning
was supposed
only
to be
8
the man.
games. McCoy, you remember that year?
Well, how many games we won?
The team that won 8 games. Rich just said this
Yeah.
team is trash. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
why
know.
that team won 8 games the following.
Why do
year.
you think I hate Jason Capel? Like,
8.
he was supposed to be so
8,
good.
son. 8 fucking games at UNC. You want to talk about being pissed? You're
Yo,
talking about
Rich,
recruiting
imagine.
stuff earlier. 8 games they won that
Imagine
year.
they won 8 games.
Oh, Kev. I wouldn't celebrate Christmas for 3 years if I could have that habit.
There would be no podcast. I'm not talking to you guys.
Oh,
if that
there'd be a
happens.
podcast.
No, there would not with me. Not with me, and you don't know how to put this shit together and put it on the internet. So no podcast.
Man, I got Google.
Games.
Joe Forte is the coolest guy on the team.
Yeah, Joe Forte was the man.
Yeah,
Joe Forte.
Yup.
he
Well,
sure
Julius
was.
Peppers too.
So
We had
anyway,
Peppers on
Theo-
that team.
he
Yeah.
was.
So we
Theo
had
Pinson-
Peppers and Curry from playing football and basketball.
Yeah, son. That's how
That's
desperate
awesome.
they were during those years.
Taken from the
Was that a
football
Matt
team.
Doherty team?
It was his first. No. That year was.
Was trash too.
That year was Bill Guthridge's
got Rolly's
last.
boys
That was
that he
that was
won
Bill
with the first
Guthridge's
time.
last season. He retired. Doherty took
take
over
it.
the next year. We won 8 fucking games. He brought in Felton and McCants in May the following year. We won
Oh, he
like
said his name.
Nah.
God damn it.
Gotcha.
We
I hate
we won
treating him like
we
he's
won like
Voldemort.
16 or 18 games or something. We got rid of him. Roy came in. We won a title, and we have just
Right.
kept it rolling since.
That's when you get a good coach.
So anyway, the whole point of this, Theo Pinson, Rich, you don't know who he is? McCoy, do you agree with me that this is a dude in the NBA that may actually succeed? Like, because of the way his game is? His jumper is god-awful, but
Well,
the
I mean,
rest of
that's
it...
what I was gonna
Oh,
say. He
Jesus.
can't really score.
But he
so
can
I
score
mean-
because he's a slasher, though.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit'll get locked up.
He has that. He's really
Good jump
athletic.
shot, kid.
Hold on,
and
though, Rich.
versatile.
So that may get
Like
locked
a
down,
Swiss Army knife out
but
there.
yeah, his ability to pass the ball, it's one of those, like, natural guys that just... They create
to
shit.
be really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's long, he's athletic, he could defend. I think he's somebody who actually, like, he's not going to be an all-star, but he could have a real good, solid career, a Luol Deng type dude. Just not scoring as much.
All-star, though.
Well, I just said not scoring as much, so you take that away and he's not an all-star.
Yeah, he's got to work on his jump shot, but
I don't think you can. He's been here for 4 years.
Hold on, he's
I
been here
think-
for 4 years?
He's been here for 4 years. He's a senior, and
Well-
he was hurt a lot his first 2 years, but he's been working with Hubert Davis, who is known as one of the best shooters in the history of the game. And
Well-
somebody at his young age screwed with him because he has the sweetest shot from the free throw line. I don't want anybody else on the free throw line with the game on the line but Theo Pinson. But I don't want him taking an outside shot ever in a game. He's got this fadeaway, Rich. Son, he's got this fadeaway, and I don't understand it. Like, you're shooting from 25 feet away. Why are you fading away while you're letting the ball go?
He's got to yell Kobe when he does it.
yeah, he's gonna start making it.
That's his problem. It's not going in
Yo,
because of that.
maybe-
Needs to pull up from the free throw line, man.
But he can't
Maybe
jump.
there's
He's
an
got to have a
issue
set
with
shot.
There you
UNC's,
go.
like coaching to that though, son, because
No.
we had a JP Tokido who was pissed that they didn't help his jump shot either. He
Tokido
was the
left.
same type of player.
But Tokido left.
Roy's not developing.
Here's a little inside knowledge. Tokido partially left because he didn't want to listen to what the fuck the coaches had to say, and he wanted to do shit his own way.
Nah, yeah, well,
Like he wasn't getting drafted, and everybody knew that. Yet he still left.
yeah.
Why? Because he
But he
didn't want to
couldn't shoot
listen to
either.
him. He
He-
wanted to go and do shit his way
Yeah.
because he was super athletic. He was kind of like Theo. Uber athletic, could jump out of the goddamn building, but your shot is suspect. And you're not
Real
going to make it in the
suspect.
NBA if that's the way you play.
That shit is beyond suspect.
Yeah, his shot was bad.
He's trash.
It was.
Now he's probably in
Yeah.
the G League somewhere.
I don't even know if he's playing in the G League anymore.
I don't think he is either.
Trash.
So, Kev, I haven't heard from you much today, buddy. And I'm sorry. We've talked a lot of UNC and Rich's Lakers. Football this weekend happened. The Jets lost. Hooray.
As it's known to do.
They get any Pro Bowlers?
No.
No, Pro Bowlers come out tonight, right?
Yeah,
No,
but
they
they
came
got
out.
zero.
Top eight.
It's already been announced. Jamal
Oh, I'm not
Adams is
surprised that
a
we didn't.
is
Actually,
a third
we-
alternate, and Josh McCown is a fifth alternate. That's about as close as we got.
A fifth alternate.
Oh,
Josh McCown, son.
And-
Pro Bowl caliber alternate.
Jamal Adams was a third alternate.
wait. The only Jamal
Yo,
Adams I
honestly-
know. The only Jamal Adams I know is Dirty Bird Jamal Adams from the Falcons.
That's
He
Jamal.
masturbated in front of a
Yeah, well,
security guard.
there's the juice coming into
Yeah.
play.
There's the G.
Rich, you need to get back on your boys, son. The Browns. They right now, if the season ends today, they have the first and the fifth pick.
I'll be there in April, Kev.
First and the fifth.
Yeah.
Let's see who
I
they
gotta-
blow it on,
I gotta
taking
pause
some
real
of their
quick
sucks.
here. I saw a thing about the Browns, and I think I sent it in the group chat. Since 2016, there have been 3 Star Wars movies that have
Yeah.
come out. The
Yeah.
Browns have won 1 game.
One time.
Like,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
son.
that-
Come on.
That shit is so miserable, man. Like, how do you do that?
You have
Did you
to.
see now that the?
I don't even think you can try and do that. Like, it's what?
Yeah.
The Bengals are trying to take their coach too. Like,
Well,
how
I
does-
mean,
like,
maybe-
why would
maybe
you want
you're
to
right.
take that coach though?
Because I don't know if he's
That's
a
who
bad
you
coach.
replaced
He
Marvin
just
Lewis
he's
with,
at the Browns.
Browns coach.
Like, son, Bill Belichick couldn't succeed with the Browns,
But he did all right.
but he did all right. But he didn't succeed.
I mean,
I'm not
what's
taking
he
anybody's
for the
record with the
at this
Browns
point,
and
winning
judging that
4 games
against
this
them.
season?
Yeah, but hold on. Let's go back to that real quick. Marvin Lewis is finally getting out of there.
Son, that's the job to take if you're a coach. Was you really don't have to do that great.
No, you don't have to do anything except for be average.
Make the playoffs every now and then and lose the first game.
He
you
made
know?
he made the playoffs half the time he was there. Like teams would kill for that.
Okay, so Marvin Lewis'
Yeah.
career record with the Bengals is 500. He made the playoffs 7 times, and he went 0-7.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
numerous people have been
The
arrested.
Browns would slit someone's throat to have that right now.
Fuck yeah, they would. That's why I'm agreeing with McCoy that that's the job to have. Like,
Oh,
those
yeah,
are
I'm
your
not saying it
numbers,
isn't, 'cause-
and you're allowed to be there for 15 years?
Yeah, no
Hell
threat of
yeah,
getting
go
fired.
there.
No,
And
my
your
thing
people
is,
and all your team can get arrested. They can kill themselves
All
hanging out
sorts
on a
of- all sorts of horrible
sunroof, drinking
things.
beer.
Wild out,
Chris
son.
Henry.
Yo,
Fuck it, like,
guess how many coaches in the NFL have a longer tenure with their team than Marvin Lewis?
probably none, right?
0. Keep it moving.
One. There's one. And it's the GOAT.
Oh, the hoodie.
So it doesn't matter. So, yeah. But with
How long's
those
he been in New
numbers,
England?
That dude was hired when I was in high school.
90, what was it, 98, 99?
Damn.
Oh, what?
99,
What?
99,
Belichick with the pass.
98. We had Belichick
2000.
when we were in the AFC Championship, 99. 2000, I think, is when
Yeah, we were,
he,
and that's when we got screwed and we had to pick up Al Groh.
Yeah, had
yeah,
Belichick.
because he took the job and the next day was like, I resign.
I'm out.
Did he resign on
Peace.
like a napkin?
Peace.
No, he had an actual press conference because,
Yeah, but I thought he wrote it on a napkin and gave it to someone.
oh, he may have.
Or maybe that was Jerry Jones when he fired Jimmy Johnson.
Your boy Jerry.
Now,
Trying to
so
get Roger the fuck up out of
the
here.
other thing that
Yeah.
there's two other things that happened in football. The first thing that's really fucking starting to piss me off with football is what the hell is a catch, son?
Who knows?
Yo. All right, here's the problem, Kev. I don't know if it's the catch rule or if it's the Patriots we're playing.
Again, dude, again. But no, I mean it's happening way too much. Like I was watching a game on Red Zone, and this guy on the Panthers, Cam slings something between two defenders, and this little guy jumps up and catches it, gets both feet down, and the ball pops up in the air, and he manages to catch it again, and his ass is half out of bounds, and they reviewed it and called it a touchdown. And then this dude on the Steelers catches the ball, his knee goes down, the ball goes over the goal line, and like if you're running and you go over and put the ball over the goal line and someone hits you, as soon as it goes over, it's a touchdown. And then this guy
Yeah.
goes over and the ball bobbles a little bit, and they're like incomplete pass.
I saw that dude.
Did you guys see it, Rich McCoy? Did you guys both see the play he's
Nah,
talking
that's
about?
it.
Yeah, I saw the guy that Mike Pereira guy, who
Yep.
always does like the refs. He said it was the right call because when you make a catch, you have to control it while you're
Okay.
Good
falling.
catch, right?
All right, so
So,
McCoy,
I-
Dude,
because
I
you
don't
didn't
know.
see it.
When I was
Because you
5
didn't
years
see it?
old, if you came to my house and picked up my grandmother's glass ass candle holder and threw it across the room, I catch that shit and it doesn't hit the ground and break. That's a catch, dude.
That's a catch. Right?
That's a
So-
secure catch.
So Rich is
Touchdown.
Rich is 100% correct, and the referees got this call correct. I heard a bunch about it because I watched it and I was interested. So what happened, McCoy? It was the tight end Jesse James caught the ball. He was at the one. Nobody touched him.
Jesse
Nobody
James.
was around him. Caught the ball. He went down to a knee, and he was facing Roethlisberger, who threw it. He then turned his body and stretched out to reach for the goal line. As he did, and his elbow hit, the ball started to come loose. He never lost possession, though. Like, the ball never went away from him.
Wait till.
So
Yeah,
hold
that's
on, though.
bullshit,
You're missing the
right?
point
on,
here.
hold on.
I've
So-
always been
so-
told 1 knee equals 2 feet.
But, Kev, I'm getting to it. I'm getting to it. So all this happens, and then he's tackled. The way the ruling was that it was a fumble recovered in the end zone, so the ball is not a touchdown, and instead is a touchback, much like with the Jets-Patriots shit. The way the ruling was called was correct because the NFL apparently has a difference between if you're a runner.
That's
And a
the
catch.
bullshit, dude.
If you're a runner and you do that, that's
You
a
can
touchdown.
get hit and
'cause
the ball could fly
Because the
anywhere.
ball
Doesn't
crossed
it?
the plane. But if
But
you're a
like the ground
catcher,
can't cause
but
a
if you're a
fumble.
catcher, that's the whole problem. The ground cannot call, or the ground can not cause a fumble, but it can cause an incompletion. You have to keep possession through
It's too
contact
fucking
with the
much,
ground.
dude.
What the fucking hell and goddamn shit are you talking about, NFL?
I get that somewhat though. I mean, like as far as
Yeah.
like the ground not causing an
I get it
incompletion,
too,
like,
but
if you
every
jump in
week
the air,
there's a different call
Yeah,
here,
I
and then they
mean-
call it A one week, and then next week it's B.
I don't
I
think they
feel-
know what the
It's
rule
like-
is themselves, son.
Well, no, they do. They do. That's what Rich was
No,
saying.
they
They
don't.
do know what the rule is, and the rule says as a catcher, you have to possess the ball through contact with the ground. And because his contact with the ground was him reaching for the end zone and he juggled it, it's not a catch. It's incomplete.
If a main component of your game is this fucking complicated from week to week that fans need like deep, like in-depth explanation on what it is,
Yeah.
then you got a problem. Like
Yeah,
imagine
right?
if you
Yeah,
really
like if you
need
need
it.
to separate if you're a runner or a catcher, like what the hell?
Like, I know the NBA lets travel go, but we all know a travel when we see it. Like when we see it, we're like, oh, that's travel.
and if
like,
there's
we're-
something egregious in the
yeah,
NBA, they're gonna
don't
be like,
call
all right,
it.
come on.
Yeah, and like it's just known that like, hey, he traveled, but you know what? They don't really call it.
Yeah, and I was getting to that. I was
You
waiting
get
for
that
McCoy to
extra
finish
step.
this, but I think you're right. I think the NFL just needs to be like, all right, listen, use your eyes. You know what a catch is. Did he catch the ball?
Nah,
Did he
they can't
possess?
do that,
Did
son.
he have possession of the ball? Stop trying to get a legal definition.
And the thing that happens that sucks for the NFL in these cases, this shit always happens in like fourth quarter, like
Always,
game,
with the
like
game
you know
on
what I
the
mean,
line.
like big decisions. Like if you have a travel in basketball and someone happens to get like 2 point, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world, but you get a fucking
But I don't even
touchdown.
think the NBA would call it at the end of a big game.
No, I don't know.
Like it
I
would have
think
to
the
be
NBA
like
would be
if
more
you
lenient at
literally
the end of
didn't
the
dribble
game.
the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You know, like he would have to inbound the ball and just walk to the rim for them to call it. Like the NBA was like, nah, let that go. They got this.
Yeah,
Like,
let
it's
it
the end
just
of the
let
game.
it
We're
ride.
not calling him
let
on
it
that.
Yeah. It's
All right.
nuts, though.
But
So
you know what,
get-
Kev? Though it actually happened. What happened with us with Austin Seferian Jenkins and that fumble? It happened this week again with Derek Carr.
Yeah, that was fly though.
It was.
He thought
So
he was
did
going to
you-
win the game, and boop.
Yep, Rich McCoy. I'm taking it. You guys probably didn't see this one.
Nope.
So dude is running inside the 5, reaches out like you see any running back with his left hand as he's being
Against the
tackled out of
Cowboys, right?
bounds towards the right sideline. He's going to hit
Yeah,
the
boy.
pylon, except he's like 2 yards short, and the ball gets knocked out of his hand, goes into the end zone, and falls out of bounds.
With
Turnover.
seconds
Other
left.
team's ball, game over.
Good.
That was the big Sunday
But that's a
night game,
bullshit
too.
call, though. Like, that shouldn't be the other team's ball.
No, it shouldn't. But it is.
Well, in this case, like, where did your guy fumble it from? Like, right on the goal line, didn't he? Like, he
No,
was
no,
2
no,
yards
no,
back,
no.
son?
The guy with the
difference in
Jets
these
was
was
in
our
the
dude
end
scored a
zone.
goddamn
Yeah,
fucking
right.
touchdown, then fumbled it. They were like, Patriots ball, screw this, you're going to lose.
Wasn't a catch, son.
Wasn't a catch.
They should have just called it incomplete.
Man.
Fine.
They
Yeah,
need
what
to
was
just
your,
go to,
what was your
go
third observation from this wonderful
Oh,
weekend
son.
of football?
to fucking Gronk is the fucking man. Did you see him?
No,
Did
I
you
didn't
see what
it.
he did on that winning drive
No.
for the Patriots? So he had back to back to back catches on the same guy for 27, 26, and then 16 yards. Then they hand the ball off and they run for a touchdown. They go for 2, and they do a fade route to Gronk on the same guy that he had burnt 3 times in a row.
Run the route.
And he catches the fade on him, and he like fell, and Gronk is like laughing at him as he's falling down, and he flexes over him, and Tom Brady's trying to come over and like celebrate with him, and Gronk is just flexing on everybody, dude. Yo, if it was back in the day when we all watched football together and someone did your team the way Gronk did that guy, oh my god, he would instantly be. That's how someone on your team becomes your least favorite player, dude. One drive,
Yeah,
you got
for real.
spanked 4 times, dude. He owned
mean,
him.
I hate the Patriots, but he's one of those dudes that even at this age, gotta
Oh,
respect with
I
what he
love
does.
Gronk, dude. I hate
His
the pass,
post
but
game,
Gronk
I did,
is my
I did
favorite
see
player.
his post game interview, and it made me laugh hysterically. He sounded like the biggest bro in the world. They were asking him to it. They were, I know, but the way he sounded it made me laugh. It always does. They were asking him to explain those 3 catches in a row. I knew he made them. And he was
my
like,
God.
bro, I caught the first one and I did this, and the next one I caught it and I was like, oh, and I went around the other guy, and then on the third one I got it again, and I was like, dude.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it wasn't like the guy was like draped on him and he made like a good catch. Like, he was wide open, like 3 steps in front of the guy every time. So whoever number 28 last name Davis is on the Steelers, that's your brother's favorite player, McCoy.
Oh, actually, I'm glad you brought his brother up because we probably won't have a podcast next week. We won't. Christmas is on Monday. But I talked shit to McCoy when I whooped his ass in our fantasy basketball league, and I play his brother next week, and I'm going to whoop your ass, Dave, and win my 7th straight week in our fantasy basketball league.
Yeah, I started out like 0
There you
and 4, and now I'm 500 with 1 tie. And Isaiah
Kev,
Thomas.
Stop, Kev. Shh. I started off 1 and 3, and I've won 5 straight. Everybody's going to start
Oh, you
thinking
did.
Yeah,
we're
but I got
actually
Isaiah
cheating.
Thomas
But they're
getting
gonna
ready to
start
come
thinking
off
we're
the bench,
cheating.
son.
You cheat.
Yeah, you be adding points.
Back to
Yeah,
back
right.
top scorer.
Yeah,
You-
no wonder. Surprise,
This
surprise.
guy. Nah, son, I just got all my people that were hurt in the beginning of the year
Don't
back.
try to swindle
Not
me in
my
any
fault,
trades.
Kev, was I
Drinking
already
that
did.
juice.
I already did.
You-
Son,
Man,
I got CP3 from you for Kyle Lowry.
Lowry's got me on my winning streak, baby. Got me out the
Yeah,
gutter.
CP3 is averaging like 45 points a game.
He's old.
That's fine. I'll take those 45 a game, though.
Rockets in 6.
Nope.
Go Rockets.
I knew you had something to say, Rich.
We
Just the
already
way
did
you were
that.
sitting there.
They
Let's talk
got to
about,
make it there first.
Let's talk about your boy putting it on KD last night.
Oh shit, yo, they both got him. Oh, they both
Yeah,
got
that
him.
was crazy.
Nance Jr.'s a beast, son.
What was
Yeah,
the
you should-
final in that game?
116, 114.
No, really, it was mad good. Damn.
Yeah, it went to
Kinda mad I
overtime.
missed that.
Lonzo had 16, 6 and 6 and shot 6 of 12 from the field.
There you go. Turning that corner. Got to just stop being
He has been
consistent.
shooting a lot better. Like the last, I haven't looked at the numbers, but I just know, like from seeing the box scores, he's shooting better. Like not like astronomically better, but it's like around the 40% mark.
Well, you can live with that.
Yeah, because if he was doing what he was doing, but shooting 40% all season, no one would give a fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like the coverage has died down a little bit.
Yeah,
Like, I don't see him all over the place all the time, and that has to have something to do with it.
yeah. I mean, it was funny because I woke up and I saw the alert on my phone. It was like Kevin Durant drains game-winning jumper in Lonzo Ball's face. It's like okay, like you know,
He
he's
should.
19 and he's Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant would do that to everybody in the league.
Yeah, like Kevin Durant drained a jumper in LeBron's face to win a finals game.
Yeah, seriously. That's what Kevin Durant does.
But
He does a lot of
I
other
was-
things too.
Yeah.
I get dunked on. I was scrolling through the alerts and it was like Kevin Durant's bad night continues as Larry Nance puts him on a poster now. And I was like, oh shit, 2 people got him?
Danny Green got him earlier this year.
No, no one
Yeah,
cares.
you got him bad.
Oh, bullshit. 2 people in this fucking chat right now care.
I don't even believe that happened. I never saw it.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you
I
may
have
not
never
think you
seen
have,
that.
but you
No,
saw it, son.
I'll send you a
promise
link,
that I've
man.
never-
Just like
I've
McCoy
never
hates
seen it.
Christmas, but he's dressed in red and green. Subconsciously, he knows. You saw it.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what the fuck happened.
The eggnog got me feeling festive, man.
So, during that UNC game, college football, we got to talk about it real quick. The bowl games are ridiculous. Does anybody watch any bowl game ever outside of the national
I'm
championship?
watching Lane Kiffin right now in this cherry something bowl.
You got to be
Yes,
beautiful.
Kev, I'm so glad you have it on.
Yep.
Listen to this name, Rich. This is why I needed to bring up this topic. I don't give a shit about college bowls, and nobody does, and here's the reason why. Kev is watching the Cherry Bundy Tart Cherry Boca Raton Bowl.
They gave up that dough, man.
Son, hold on. Let me repeat. The Cherry Bundy Tart Cherry
Hold on, do you
Boca
even know
Raton
what
Bowl.
Cherry Bundy is?
Woo! I'm fired up. I need that trophy.
Who knows what that is?
You need some of that
Kev,
juice,
tell me what
man.
it
That's
is.
what you're sipping right
I
now.
have no
Juice.
idea what Cherry Bundy is.
That's what. That's what
One
Straub's
word.
drinking.
One word, not spelled regular cherry, but with an I instead of an W. Or
Drinking
an I
that Cherry
instead of a
Bundy over there.
Y, and then Bundy. Like, come on. Yo.
That
Did
shit
you
is
see?
some-
Hold on. Did you see Lane Kiffin in the interview before this game? Because they're playing
No.
they're playing the Akron Zips.
The zipper.
McCoy's team.
Exactly. And so Lane was like, "So what the hell is a zip?" And they said, like, the dude said it's a baby kangaroo. And Lane Kiffin looked at him and was like, "Y'all just got baby kangaroos running around wild in Ohio?" Yeah, dude is such an asshole, dude.
Yeah, word.
Lane Kiffin is the man.
No, he's not.
I do like him more now.
When he's on these
right.
shitty ass fucking
hell
teams
is
like
this?
this, just trolling everybody, it's funny as hell.
I sent you guys the link for the worst mascot I have ever heard of in my life. It was during a game I was about to do.
Is it the Chanticleers?
The Chanticleers.
Whatever the hell they are.
Close, but no, they're at least
But
an
no.
animal that fights.
I feel like you only say it like that when you have a wine glass.
No. So, honest to God story, second year I'm ever doing play-by-play, and I'm calling a men's soccer game, and they are playing the Chanticleers. And
See, if you didn't have a wine glass, you wouldn't have said it like that.
no, Rich, I'm getting
Fancy
there.
way.
So I'm
Drinking
sitting
that
there, and I'm
cherry
calling
brandy.
them. I'm calling them by what their goddamn name looks like, and they look like the Chanticleers. That's how it's spelled. I'm sorry, you didn't give me a way of not pronouncing it outside of the way it's spelled. And during the goddamn game, their SID comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and whispers, "It's the Chanticleers."
Yeah, but he had a wine
Yo,
glass
bro,
in his
get
hand,
the
too.
fuck out of here.
He had that
Pour
cherry
the wine.
Bundy.
So I'm pretty sure it was Radford. It was a UN team. It's
Okay.
actually getting to Sylvia's 1,000. They're called the Highlanders. No, that's not who it was. It was the Blue Hose.
Highlanders.
The Blue
Hope
Hose.
they're really Highlanders.
The blue
Is that after
hose.
the movie or?
It was a team. It was a team that are called the Blue Hose. I'll find out what school it was. The
I keep
nickname-
thinking he's saying blue hose.
Me too. Like, some slutty ass Smurfs running around.
Son, what do you think I had going through my
Yeah.
head before I had to call a game? Called the Blue Hose.
Yo, McCoy. You remember that episode of Family Guy? It was like,
Presbyterian. Hold on, Rich.
so
I
you
need
lift
to
the
pause so I
Smurfette
can
last
finish
night.
this one.
Yeah, she smurfed me in the parking lot.
The Presbyterian Blue Hose. So their nickname started way back when they were founded, like 1900. Gather yourself, McCoy.
Yo, that's classic.
Started in the 1900s because back then socks or stockings were called hose as well,
Hose.
and they wore blue socks. So they
put my
called them
foot
the
all in
blue.
these hose.
So they called them either the blue stockings or the blue hose. The blue hose eventually stuck. 1950s come around, and they actually adopt the nickname. So now they're officially the Presbyterian Blue Hose. Somewhere around that same time, it stopped being referred to as their socks. First of all, why in the hell is your mascot and your nickname your color of your socks? Second of all, their new nickname, which is still the Blue Hose, refers to their Scottish fighting heritage.
Is that a
What
kilt?
the fuck, what
Was
the
that a
fuck does
kilt?
Presbyterian have to do with Scottish fighting heritage? Blue Hose.
They got it all fucked up, son.
They got
Call
the
them-
wrong mascot.
Called them different names a couple of times by mistake. My bad.
Them hoes. Like, why wouldn't they rebrand that? You know,
So
like,
I don't
pick
understand.
something
it.
else. Like, this is a fail.
And their mascot looks like William Wallace running out onto the goddamn court, just a big stuffed dude.
Listen,
William Wallace.
I know I always bring this up, but Joe Paterno was
I was
known.
just gonna be like, come on, son,
Joe
can't we get through
Paterno.
1 week?
No.
Found out that Joe Paterno knew little boys were getting raped in the shower and they didn't want to change that shit. They are not changing Blue Hose. People love the Blue Hose.
We got a long-standing tradition here with these
Right.
hoes.
People were like, oh, child rape is bad, but we can't take down Joe. These
Yeah.
people are not changing from their
Yeah, right.
Blue Hose.
They're set, man. They are set.
So speaking of inappropriate behavior, add the Panthers owner to the list. Way to go, another old white dude.
See, it's a good transition.
Yeah, forced. Hey, you can do it every once in a while, even on the
I was
juice.
talking about Rich.
Rich didn't even do it, you son of a bitch.
Oh, he bought up
You
the
son of a
inappropriate behavior topic.
Thank you for bringing up Penn State, Rich.
No problem. Anytime you want it, I'm here to talk about it.
Your
So
boy
Jerry
Joe
Richardson, apparently he is a dirtbag pervert, forced to put the
Surprise,
team up for
surprise.
sale. Yeah, right. Like whatever. But the people that are interested in buying it are interesting. Very interesting. P
They can be
Diddy.
as interested as they want.
P Diddy is the one who was the first one that was like, I want to buy the team.
I'm interested too. Shit
Clearly-
ain't gonna happen though.
All right, but hold on. Clearly, Pete Diddy has the money. He could buy a franchise. He
He
has
can,
the money
sure.
to do so. And then
Definitely
Colin
have the money.
Kaepernick jumped in.
Yeah, son. Diddy's always top of the Forbes list.
So there was,
Talking
so
about
there was a
millions,
tweet.
though.
There was a tweet today from Diddy's
That close to a billion.
representatives, and it said, "This is real."
Diddy, baby.
That's all you need.
What was the tweet?
Non-silent things don't work during a podcast, man. You're laughing and nobody knows why.
I was
I knew
talking.
why.
Oh, okay, that works then. It was from somebody that was with Diddy and his group and shit, but it was essentially, this is for real. Kaepernick and him have an actual meeting set up. They want to try and put a bid in and put together a group and buy the Panthers.
Where does Kaepernick have money to buy a team from?
I mean, he's made the
The
money that he's
motherfucker ain't
made.
even playing right now.
He had a
He's
$100
been
million
giving it all
contract.
away.
Yeah, like he had a $100 million contract he had signed with the Niners, son.
Wasn't his
$100 million
contract had,
to own a
mad
team.
So he
incentives?
saw like 40 million of that.
Right?
No. If they cut him before it was guaranteed, he saw all of it.
And if they don't want him to play in the league, they definitely ain't gonna let him own a team.
That's going to just add to his lawsuit. Like, that's not something that the NFL can do. Like, that's not legal.
Right,
They
it's
can
not,
not
but they
sell
don't
one
have
of their
to
teams
say
if
that's
they
why.
want.
They can just be no, we want this ownership group instead. It's a private league. Like, they can sell the team to who they want. Like,
Except that's not the truth. Jerry Richardson owns the team. He can sell it to whoever he wants in the
His
NFL.
racist ass ain't selling it to them either.
yeah,
I mean-
right?
Like, you're gonna leave it to the
Not
guy
at
who
all,
get kicked
dude.
out
We're
for
gonna leave
being
it to the
racist?
pervert
He
racist.
won't even
Who
let
did the Clippers? Hold on. Who did the Clippers get sold to?
The white
Tell
guy.
me there
Steve
wasn't.
Ballmer.
Tell me there wasn't a minority in their entire thing. Because if Colin Kaepernick is part of the people that buy the Panthers, he's going to own like 2% of the team. He don't
Okay,
have
but
enough
it's-
money to throw in.
But
He's going to have a
Diddy would
small,
have a
little,
high ownership
tiny
stake.
minority of it.
It's like
But
Jeter.
he won't let
It's
him
like Jeter
play.
with the Marlins.
Yeah.
But his name alone carries more weight than all the money these people could bring.
He ain't getting. No, he's Diddy
Colin
needs to-
Kaepernick's net worth in 2017 was $61 million.
And that ain't enough.
That's enough to buy a percentage
Stake,
of an
yeah.
ownership. Absolutely.
Okay. In
I
his
think
name
Jordan
and that ownership is enough.
Jordan just threw in $50 million to own like 3% of the Marlins.
Listen, man, I saw how shady this ownership game is in bowlers, so I know the games they're playing, man. You seen it too, Kev.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you guys. It's a long shot, but
So, Straub, there was this article I read right before we hopped on, and there's
Oh,
this
there-
ownership group that wants to buy the Panthers and move them back to St. Louis. Well, move a team back to St. Louis.
Ooh,
that ain't happening. People
Charlotte
here
ain't letting that happen.
ain't happening. The people here love this team. They make so much money. They're not leaving here.
The people there love a lot of things, but doesn't mean it's going to happen.
But
Money
just like you
reigns.
said,
Money reigns, and they
you
make
said.
money here. They're not
Good
leaving.
point, Kev.
but just like you said, what if they sell the team to somebody that wants to do that?
Yeah, Jerry
They're not
Richardson
leaving
can
the
sell
money.
it to Diddy and Kaepernick and keep it in Carolina, or they're going to sell it to some whites and move it to St. Louis.
Right? Richardson could just be like, "Fuck y'all," and sell to the people that want to move. You know?
But they're
Now
not
you
going
lose-
to
you lose
want to
me, you
move.
lose
Like
the team
nobody,
I found.
nobody that buys this team that wants to make money will move it. They make money here. Why would you move if you're already making
Well,
Because
money?
you're in the NFL and you'll make money anywhere you go.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's not true at all. Look at the Chargers right now. They can't get
That's
anybody.
not true at all.
Son, it's not. The Chargers are losing money left and right. The Jaguars are losing money left and right. There's a ton of teams that can't get people to go to their stadium. The Panthers sell out all the time. They're not just a North Carolina team. They're a South Carolina and North Carolina team. That's how they build themselves. That's how they promote themselves, and that's where their fan base is. Charlotte is literally a 30-minute drive across the border to South Carolina. They have 2 states full of fans.
Nope.
Nobody is taking them out of this state.
Richardson was
And
an
if they do, they're
advocate
dumb.
of keeping the Rams in St. Louis, so he's putting a team back there, son.
Richardson isn't doing nothing but selling the team.
Oh, he's doing more than
People that
that.
wanna
You
move
read
to
the
St.
articles. Yeah, the St. Lunatics are going to buy it.
But that's what I'm
Kelly's about to get in the ownership group.
Business-wise, it makes no sense to move them. Like, why pay all that money to move a team, build a new stadium, and get out of the stadium that you're already in because you have to break contract? Why pay all that money when you're already bringing in money? You're in the black. Why change it? St. Louis clearly wasn't doing well for the Rams. They left for a reason.
Because the Taylor family, who owns Enterprise Rental, lives in St. Louis. That's why, son. They want their team back.
Yeah.
Maybe to solve all
I don't know,
this,
kid.
we can sit them in a room and have them watch that whack ass rap video Straub sent us. Racism.
See it from both sides, son.
Yo,
I sent that because of the video, son.
well, that song in that video.
You can hate the song as much as you want. That video was shot extremely well.
He said because that shit was stupid.
What was the name of it?
I'm not racist.
But who, like the dude who sang it, Joyce something?
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, so the way that video was shot, like you could turn the
No
music
idea who
off.
that is.
Yeah, I don't either. But you could turn the music off and just watch the video and understand the premise of what was trying to get put across. Watch any other music video and that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
more
man.
surprised that people still make music videos, honestly. Like,
Well, yeah, that too, but not Rich, like not something like that, not a meaning like that, not something that just so simplistically to put two people in a abandoned building and simply have a table, two chairs, and the way you shoot it down a line with some support beams to separate what the song is essentially trying to say, whether you agree with it or not, whether you like it or not.
That song was so stupid.
That's fine. But the way it was shot, that music video was really good.
Like,
and that was
maybe
my
I'll
only
win
point.
an Oscar.
Like,
Do music videos win Oscars, son?
I don't know.
Is it going to be in the
Best
comedy? Is it
best
going to be in the
director or
comedy
some
category?
Yeah, it might probably.
oh my god.
Get in there with Get Out.
Yeah, right.
Yo, I watched that shit and had so many feelings of like,
Yeah, and I understand that, but I'm
like he
just
basically said all you need to do is sit in a room and have the same argument that people have been having for years, and then stand up and hug, and racism is
I'll
over.
get out, son.
yeah.
I'll
That,
get out.
I'm not advocating that song was like correct in telling like
Well,
here's
I'm
how to
telling
solve all
you-
the problems. All I did, and that's why I sent 2 texts afterwards that was talking
sent
about the
my text.
cinematography of it. I just
Yeah, I
loved
know.
the cinematography.
And I'm telling
that's it.
you that the way it was shot isn't enough for me to say it's good, because that song actually does more harm than anything, because it's having a group of people grow up thinking that there's two sides to this story, and everything the white guy said, like, it's gonna cause something where it's like something's gonna happen, and it's like, well, you know, maybe you should listen to the white guy's point of view, and it's like, nah, fuck his point of view. He's racist. Like, everything he said was wrong. Like, if you ride, like, there's no two sides of this. There's a right side and a bad side.
They had in the South Park season finale, they had a family called the White Family, and it was just like a random white family, and he was just running around basically telling everybody how nobody cares what's happening to the whites and all this. This shit had me dying.
Fucking whites.
Yeah.
I listened to that guy
Team
actually
Peach,
talk
baby.
about. I listened to that guy talk about like what his video was about, and he was like, "It's really just saying, you know, sit down. Like, everyone has their own side of the story." It's like, yeah, well, one side's bullshit. Fuck that side. like,
That's funny.
because I actually saw another video where this guy stood up and was like, if this song was "I'm Not a Rapist," you wouldn't sit there and be like, wait until you hear the next verse. It gets mad deep, because he
Yeah.
actually says that like he thinks black people should die because they have their pants hanging off their ass. Like, if there was a song
Oh yeah,
called,
there was some shit that was said. So the first time I heard it, actually, go ahead, continue.
No,
I don't-
like if the song was "I'm Not a Rapist" and the person was like, "Well, you deserve that because what you had on," everyone would be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, there wouldn't be these 20-year-olds online trying to tell me how deep this song is when it's some of the most shallow shit I've ever heard of in my life.
So literally, the first time I heard that was like 15 minutes before I sent in our text, and it was the video, but it was I could barely hear what was being said because there was people that were commentating on it.
Yeah,
And like as soon as it came on, and you saw this fat white hillbilly with the "Make America Great" hat again, I was like, oh god damn it! And I actually thought it was him saying these words, and I was like, what the fuck is this hillbilly doing? Then I
Who made
realized
the
that it
song,
wasn't
then?
him. What's that?
But was the guy that made the song in the video?
no.
No. So
Wow.
the video, you didn't watch it?
So I was trying to figure. I watched the first couple minutes of it.
Oh, I was gonna be like, you thumbs up the I liked the cinematography. You're gonna tell me you didn't watch it and then you liked it?
He'll do what he wants.
Yeah, man.
So the video was literally, it was two dudes, a fat white dude and a black dude with like not
Yeah, I saw
dreads.
that. That's why I was trying to figure out which one made the video.
Stereotypical white guy, stereotypical black
Yeah,
guy.
right.
Yeah,
Saying
exactly.
Stereotypical things
Uh,
to each other.
So it starts off with the white dude singing the verses from the white standpoint of the two sides. And it's like Rich said, there's some verses in there that are terrible.
It's every bit of bullshit you hear these
Yeah.
white supremacists say, McCoy.
But when I first watched it, it was people that were commentating on it, and they were like, whoa, what is this dude talking about? And like at one point, he uses the N-word, and he doesn't say it with an A, he uses the ER, and they were like, oh, he threw the ER on the end of this shit. So I wanted to actually hear it and
he
see it,
did.
because when I first heard it, you could barely hear what he was saying. You heard more of the commentator, but I like the cinematography of it. So I went and found it, and that's when I sent it to you guys. So yes, the song, whack. The way it was shot, really good. Watch it on mute, people.
Or don't watch it at all.
You
Or
actually
don't
wrote
watch
that
it at
song
all.
with your cornbread throwing ass.
Son, I'd rather eat some cornbread, but if I need to throw some at you, I will. And only you.
Wally's drinking that Cherry Bundy.
Juice.
Cherry
Cherry Bundy. Give me some great Bundy.
I just read something. I just saw this article here about this cannabis-infused wine that claims to give you a buzz without a hangover.
Nah, I don't believe it.
I'm out on that wine.
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was telling them before. I don't really drink wine like that. It'd be mad dry,
Ugh.
Ugh.
right?
Nobody likes wine on here? No?
I really had red. Like, I don't like
Kev.
red wine.
Rich, you? Wine, yes, no?
I mean, the shit Jess drinks is alright, but I wouldn't like. I'll drink it if I want to drink something.
What does she drink?
It's
Like, does she
this
buy,
wine.
like, Yellowtail or Barefoot?
That's the shit she used to buy, but now it's like this red cat shit, like this
Okay.
red wine. I don't know.
Should be making me thirsty.
Do you like it, though? Do you know what it is?
I mean,
you know
if
what
I
type
want
it
it,
is?
it's a red wine.
But do you know what
Like
type?
it-
Oh, God,
there's a
that's
lot.
terrible.
What do you mean type? I don't
Yeah,
know.
son, the red
No,
wine
I don't.
just makes me want to drink, you know?
So that's why I was asking, because there's a lot of different types, and every type is different, especially with grapes. Kev, you're out in
Especially
Cali. You don't
grapes.
like them, son?
Hell no. All that
None?
wine can go to hell, dude.
White and red?
red.
Yellow,
Really?
Purple.
Keep it out of
green.
my. Keep it away.
I
That
love
shit is
some-
that
some good wine
aftertaste,
is-
dude, makes me
Ooh.
want to puke, man. That stuff.
You haven't
is
been
dis-
drinking the right kind of wine.
Trust me,
The
I
white
have,
kind.
dude.
You hear the slip?
Just
Hey, there are white wines. I mean,
doing the what? You doing the white thing over there?
actually, I'm drinking the dark wine tonight.
No, Leah and her mom stay with bottles and bottles of either cheap wine, expensive wine. Trust me, they ain't. Ugh, it's nasty. I'll drink champagne. I'll pop bottles with you there and get fucked up on some champagne.
The next time I'm out there, Kev, I'll get us a couple bottles of wine. I guarantee you'll like them.
Start with straight
I
shots,
guarantee
then
you
pop
I
bottles.
won't.
Nah, son, I'm
We
telling
went to
you.
this wine bar. You saw the Snapchat. I was at this
what,
high
Bobby's
class
drinking
ass
the
wine
wine?
bar. Luckily, they had a couple nice beers because I wasn't touching any of that
that's
ashtray ass pond water wine.
That's the problem, though, Kev. You get into like the high class shit, and they're just doing way too much. Give me a nice blend. Give me a red blend. I don't want a specific. Give me a
I want
blend.
no blend. I want a beer,
go.
son.
Yeah, good glass of wine. Yeah, I'm good.
With your corn cob pipe.
And a button nose and two eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman.
Yeah, you better not have the rape song on either. Drinking
Oh, that's
your
Rich's favorite. Makes a point to point it out every year.
Every year.
No, it's cold outside is a song about rape, man.
It absolutely is. She says at one point, "What's in this drink?" Like,
Yeah, like
can't get any clearer than
Who wrote
that.
that, Cosby?
Bill Cosby should have.
Yes. He knows when you're asleep, when he knows when you're awake.
That was the best meme you've ever seen.
I hope
That
he
got
was
nothing
sipping.
on
I
me,
hope right before he took that picture, he was sipping on some eggnog.
Yeah.
Right? You know Bill Cosby's the eggnog loving motherfucker.
Oh, he loves it.
You don't
McCoy-
eat that much
McCoy
Jello in your life.
Wait a minute.
McCoy and
He got
Cosby.
that Jello pudding eggnog
Go
too.
put a sweater on, son.
You don't eat that much Jello in your life, and I love eggnog.
Jello is whack anyway.
Oh, I want to talk about real quick. I don't know how much time we have, but
We got as much time as
What
you want.
time
This
do
is
you
our
need,
this is our
bro?
last one for at least a week because we're not doing Christmas. So if you got stuff, go.
all right. So I thought of this. Remember how last week we were talking about how cool stats were, right? And how like
Yeah, like
you-
how in
you-
depth you can get with them.
Yeah, like you explained like exit velocity to us.
Yes.
And like those stats are really dope, and like I like them a lot. I think they let you learn about the game. But I'm tired of them ruining cool shit that just should be cool. Like Russell Westbrook averaged a triple double last year, right? And that shit was really cool because we never seen anyone do it. But then like halfway through the seasons, it's like, well, you know, he's actually hurting his team because his offensive rating when he gets a triple double is this, and this. So his triple doubles really aren't that impressive. And it's like when Kobe used to drop 50, like in that thing I told you about earlier about when they were doing number 8 and 24. They had Stephon Marbury break down Kobe's 60-point game in the Garden, and he was like, he's just a scientist on the floor, like he's doing what he wants. But him scoring 50, 60 points, that's not a big deal. That's what he does. So it's like he would go on those scoring binges, and it's like, oh man, that's so cool that he's scoring like 50 points in 6 games in a row. But then someone always has to come in and he's like, well, you know, he's really shooting this percentage, so it's not really that impressive. Like all the cool shit we see in sports now, there's someone to tell me why it's not cool because it's really hurting the team. And I just want to enjoy shit.
So I 100% agree and understand. And it was something that I guess because I love baseball and always have that I learned at a young age. Stats can make any argument and destroy any argument.
Yeah.
Like there's just too many of them and they can be skewed to whatever way you want them to make it look.
It's a real Skip Bayless comment.
Son, I want to slap you right now. You're lucky we're not sitting next to each other. Like I literally just looked at you and my hand started to raise a little bit.
Can't be out here when he's on that Barry talking like that.
Yeah. That Jerry Bundy, son. Coming with it
talking
like
reckless
Al
to Kyle
over
when
there.
he's on the
Fucking Al
Bundy?
Bundy ass.
Oh, Bundy.
You gotta admit though, if there's any one
Al
of us,
Bundy.
if there's any one of us that Skip Bayless, it's you.
No.
Come on.
Yeah, he said
No,
I learned
like,
at a young
refuse
age
to allow
that
you to
stats
put me in
can
that category. That dude
can
is
win
a
an
douchebag.
argument or destroy an argument. Like that's some real Skip Bayless plotting ass shit right there.
Nah, Kevin, screw you, son.
It's your
I'm getting
fine
your
ass,
ass out of the
man.
goddamn podcast now.
Skip.
He's skipping you, Kev.
Kev, you see
Not
that
sk-
Star Wars?
You know who I am?
No,
Kyle
son, not
motherfucking
yet.
Stroud.
Stroud.
Speaking of Star Wars, you saw that poll I put in the chat. Who would you rather be your father, Darth Vader or LeVar Ball?
Bruce Stroud.
Who was winning the
Bruce. Go Bruce. Thanks for the jeans, pops.
poll?
McCoy got one of those earlier this week. Wanted to try talking
It wasn't
about
as
his
funny,
son.
though.
Said, thanks for the jeans, Pop. Kev, you said you didn't see the Star Wars?
No, not yet. There's
When do you plan on
too
seeing
much
it?
Christmas shopping going on.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
understandable. When do you plan on seeing it?
After Christmas, I'm gonna go.
I'm going
I
on the
took a bunch
30th.
of days off after Christmas, so I'm just gonna be chilling.
Yeah, I'm going on the 30th. Me and a bunch of people got tickets to go. We did it the last time it came out. Have you seen the reviews?
Just
People
what
love it?
just what
Or
McCoy
hate
showed.
it.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
hate
The
it?
Yeah,
critics love
I've
it,
talked to
but the
people at
who love
work.
Star Wars hate it.
Yeah, like I saw. I don't want to ruin anything. Like, can I tell you
I
what?
might
I,
have to watch it then.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
no, Kev. I don't want to ruin anything for Kev. Like what I heard about the reviews. Like it doesn't. I have no idea what happens. Just what people have said. Can I say it or?
Oh, I don't care, dude. I'll forget it by the time I go see it.
Listen, I don't know if you're like McCoy and you like eggnog and you don't like spoilers or you know.
I
Whatever.
don't
Bring
like go
eggnog
ahead.
into this.
Get that eggnog out of here.
Don't you
I
dare
heard
spoil my Marvel
people
movie.
people that are like super against it are super against it because it ruins everything that Luke Skywalker is and stands for.
Yeah, I saw that.
If that's the case, are you all right with it?
Wait, what
Kev,
happened?
this shit isn't part of like Kev's. Like, Kev
Nah,
just
just
likes
gonna go
Star
see
Wars.
the
He ain't out
movie.
here
I mean-
dressing like Darth Vader and shit.
Yeah,
What do you-
exactly.
I'm asking him if he's all right with it as a fan of it. Like,
Well, if that's what they
putting
decided
anything
to write, I don't
There's no
give a
more
shit,
onus
man.
on it of past, are you a fan? Are you okay with it? That was the question.
I honestly, I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. I mean, I'm a fan
Yeah.
of the Jets, and they've been doing bullshit my whole entire life, so I'm not gonna just stop liking shit now.
Well, like Rich said, he's seen some of the negative shit. There's people out there, there's thousands of people that have signed a petition to
Petition.
try and get Disney to take episode 7 completely out of the realm and just
The one that
remake it
just
all.
came out.
Yeah, literally the one that came out a week ago. There are thousands of people who
Wasn't
have
that episode
petitioned
8?
Disney to get rid of
See-
it and remake the movie already.
The only thing that is weird or
The
like
movie.
I have a problem with is like George Lucas wrote all like the original shit and like all this newer stuff. It seems like other people direct and do stuff with.
But
So-
didn't the first, like, so there was episode 4, 5, 6. Didn't he write 1, 2, and 3, and people hated on those too?
Oh, I'm sure, but I don't. But like, I don't think he's like not the guy directing and doing all this shit right now.
Yeah, I think he's really hands off and really
Oh
not
yeah,
involved
he has
like that.
absolutely nothing to do
So
with
it's
it.
like
When he
he-
sold
this
it,
guy,
he,
like-
liked it, though.
he
The
washed
same
his
guy,
hands
like-
of it and was done.
Same thing with like the Jurassic Park shit. Like the Steven Spielberg made the
Yeah.
good first one, and then everybody
Mm.
else has taken over afterwards and like fucked it up.
Yeah, because they'll still get paid off it. So what do
Yeah.
they care? Like I
So-
created this. Like go ahead and make.
So if
a
anything, I'd be
$1
more
billion
upset
movie.
that some asshole fucked something up that someone was doing something good. That's
you-
where that's
Would
what
you,
I'd
as
be
a
mad
Star Wars
about.
fan, have been happier if they just left the first 3 they did and never made any more?
Yeah, but I'm like that with a lot of things where people just need to stop and make
No,
something.
I mean,
new.
I agree. Listen, we were talking about it the other day with Superbad, one of the funniest movies ever. So was Hangover when it came out. But I don't want to watch The Hangover anymore because they made so
I've
many
never
of them.
seen the second or third one because I refuse to.
Good,
Me
don't,
neither.
son. Literally, don't. It ruined the first one for me. I don't want to watch it. The first one was so good. The second one was
Yeah,
like,
the first one's
eh.
funny, so-
There was a
Yeah.
stretch. Third one was so bad I couldn't finish it, and it has ruined them all for me. I don't
mean,
want to see it.
It's like that's like the same type of thing I could say like with Stranger Things. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
No, see, I really liked the second season. I like the way they did
I
it.
mean, I liked it, but it's like you keep dragging. Like,
Like
that's
some
why I
things,
stopped
hated a lot
watching.
of other things.
That's why I stopped watching The Walking Dead. Like,
So
just
yes, The
stop.
Walking Dead will
Like,
agree
just
with you. They
fucking
have just dragged it out.
Just
I don't
stop,
think,
dude.
I don't think Stranger Things has dragged anything out yet, though.
Not yet, but it's
I don't
Not
think
yet.
so either.
It could. It could get to that point, but not yet.
Well,
have
they got
Walking
season
Dead.
3 coming. So
They haven't
Walking
stopped,
Dead,
so-
100% has dragged shit out.
Yeah.
Actually,
Well-
you and I were talking about it the other day, McCoy. You stopped after last
I
season,
watched
right?
the first episode of I think this past season where Negan bashed them dude's skulls in.
Yeah.
So that was the last season. They just
That was
started.
the last one. Oh, okay,
Yeah, they
that
got
was
a
the
new
last
one.
episode I've ever watched.
Yeah, they got a new one going now with Carl got bit at the last
Yeah,
episode.
I read about it. I saw that. Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
like when
The last 2 seasons, though, I haven't enjoyed. I literally just want them to finish the goddamn show, and I put 6 years of watching it in. I want to see how it ends.
Son, you're gonna be watching because they're not gonna stop.
No, I'm
making
not.
These
No, I'm
shows.
not, because at the end of this year, if they don't announce that next year's it, I'm done.
when that show
Then
shifted
you're gonna
from
be done. You might
Then
as
I'll
well
be
stop
done.
now.
when that show shifted from zombies eating humans to humans killing
humans,
humans,
yeah.
it was just like I could watch
That's
this
when
shit
I stopped
anywhere,
caring,
son.
too.
I
You
could
know
watch
what?
it. Every show got humans killing humans, man. Like,
Yeah, it was.
like,
I'll
I could
disagree.
put
where's
the
the
news on
zombs
and see
at?
this,
Like, I'm
like-
trying to see
I'll
these
disagree.
motherfuckers
Yeah,
zombing.
right? Put the news on. I'll disagree slightly because the first time they did humans was when they brought in the governor, and that shit was pretty fly.
Yeah,
Because it was
he
the first
solid.
battle, and
I
like,
didn't mind that.
yeah. But after that, it just got ridiculous.
Well, it's just so stupid. Like the characters are so dumb, and it's like I want them all to die, you know. Which
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's in every show because I feel the same way about Game of Thrones. But it's like these characters suck in The Walking Dead. Like they're just so stupid, and it's like,
Yeah, like at one point, Rick was the
Please
man.
get bit.
Now he's just, God damn it, shut up, get bit.
you know why? Because ever since the governor put hands on him, he went soft.
Yo, put hands on
Put
him.
that fear of God into that man. Had that man in a coma for like a week.
Had his son taking care of him on a couch and shit.
Didn't think he was so badass no
You
more.
can't look like that in front of your like 9-year-old son and think you're the man anymore.
No.
They've
Yeah,
been running
definitely
through the
can't do that.
fucking wilderness and this broke down ass America for the last 7 years now.
Yep.
I think they're doing like a crossover with the other Walking Dead show they have.
Yo,
too.
I
other
watched the
show.
first. I watched the first half of the first episode of that one.
Yeah,
See,
I'm
hold
not
on.
that quick.
That's even
Yep.
worse. Where you got one show and then you got the other show,
The
and then
spin-off,
you're gonna
the
The
combine.
other show.
And then you're like, all right, let's combine them. Like, get your first one, get your first shit together, man. Like, what you mean the other show?
You're worried about this other shit.
Jesus.
The best zombie-related thing ever was Zombieland.
Yeah,
Yes,
Zombie
that
was
movie's dope. I watch that movie every time it's on TV.
Me too.
The only thing that upsets me about that movie is when they kill Bill Murray.
Yeah,
shit was hilarious.
that
Like,
was
why?
funny,
Why, Bill? Why are you acting like a zombie during the zombie apocalypse, son?
He's trying to
Bill Murray,
live, man.
But Woody Harrelson should have stopped him. That's not funny, dude. You're gonna get
Yeah,
shot. Let's
word,
not do
right?
that. You know, much like when I was gonna elbow poo off the like third story at Ox, and you guys were like, "Yo, it's not a good idea." Boys, look out for boys. Come on, Woody, look out for Bill in that situation.
Nope.
They really weren't boys. They just met.
No, Woody loved him. They
Yeah,
went there
but-
because he loved him some Bill Murray, and then he just let him walk in there acting all like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat you," like it wasn't gonna get shot. Come
Right?
on.
Like, shit is going down out here, and you think this is funny? Like that kid, like I wouldn't even. I feel kind of bad if I was the kid that shot him, but at the same
But I
time,
wouldn't
like,
have though.
Yeah,
like, you
that shit
came at
wasn't a
me
game,
like all
like-
these other things. Fuck
Right.
you get shot.
it's not like we were just sitting here doing the pod and somebody walked up as a zombie, and you're like, "Oh, that was a good one," you know? Like them
Nope,
shits
I'm
are
telling
really
you.
out there.
I'm telling you right now, somebody walks up to me as a zombie right now. One, I have no weapon, so I'm out the door that's open. Two, if I had a weapon, your ass is going down.
Yeah, but like, you're not living in a zombie apocalypse, son.
Exactly. At that point, I have a weapon, and you're going down.
Like you would be thinking, "Oh, it's like it's not an actual thing," you know? Like.
Oop,
You
your
got
boy
me.
Gino
Yeah,
just
that
got
was
his 1,000th win. It just popped up on my
Good
phone.
for him. Four of them now.
Oh, and this, hold on, this just popped up on my phone. The Astros are going to line up to meet with fucking Yu Darvish after they made fun of him like that.
Well-
you can't go there.
He can't go there, right?
It was
Not if
one
that
dude.
same
It was
dude's
one
on the
dude
team.
that made fun of him. But
Yeah,
no,
but
you
still,
can't.
he can't do
You
that.
can't be teammates with that dude.
It's going to be some BP up in there.
I don't know.
They'll just sit down and listen to the song, son, and then they'll hug it out.
Hug it out.
It'll be all good.
Send him the link.
When would you ever listen to that song? Like, when would you ever be like, "Yo, McCoy, put the I'm Not Racist" song on? That's my jam. Like, when would you, like, people need to stop making songs about racism.
Drinking that Cherry Bundy, that's when, Rich.
You got a nice glass of Bundy.
Here's probably,
Throw
here's
that
probably
jam
why
on.
McCoy never heard of it and why you asked that kind of question. It was on Facebook. Like somebody shared the link. So somebody that was
Course
trying
they
to be
did.
like, "Oh, look, I'm trying to be better and we should
I'm
all
sure
be
those
friends,"
comments were
put that
fun.
out there. Yeah. So unless anybody else has another topic, I got one that we'll end it on. Rich, McCoy, Kev?
I did want to ask you guys when we were talking about Kobe before.
Yeah.
What's the one play or one thing you'll remember Kobe for?
First thing that popped in my head was
I
when
feel like-
Matt Barnes threw the ball at him and he didn't flinch.
Didn't even move, son.
Yo, that shit is cooler than any game winner, 50-point game, anything.
I have that saved on my phone, dude.
He didn't
I
even
have that.
blink. Like,
I have that clip saved right on my
Asked him
phone.
after the game, and he said, "What was he gonna do? Hit me with the ball?"
Matt Barnes
That's
retired last week.
He retired
do you
that
have a
day,
memory?
Kev.
Yeah, right?
Kev, you got a memory?
81, son.
The
I was
81
hanging
you
out
always
with
remember? Yeah.
Rich and Earl up in Earl's room, and he dropped 81 on him. That, I mean, and it's so fresh in my mind, that last game, this old-ass dude on a repaired-ass Achilles hoist up 50 shots. That shit was badass, too.
Right.
Classic
So I
Kobe.
waited to go last because I kind of felt like it was a lame answer because one, I didn't see it, and two, it was his last game. But that last game is what I'm going to remember. It was actually a night I was out at Charlotte. I had to call a UNC versus South Carolina game. And on my way back, I was like, God damn it, what am I going to listen to? Oh shit, Kobe's playing his last game. And I listened to the entire game during my 3-hour drive back from Charlotte to Chapel Hill. And I didn't feel like I drove anywhere. Like, it was awesome listening to that game and hearing what he did. And they even played his speech and everything. That's the one I'll always remember. My question, though, is as a fan, what is the one game you remember or the one memory you have
Of what? Me?
of Kobe? Yeah. That's
I
your
don't know,
boy,
like,
a
I
boy
didn't-
of boys.
That's part of the reason why, like, I asked, because I don't really know. Like, there's so many. Like,
I understand that because
so
if you asked me
many
the same
that-
about Mike, I couldn't give you one. There's
Like,
not one that I can be
well,
like,
well,
yes,
see,
this one.
Rich, you know,
not-
there is
I'm
one
not
thing
trying
that that's not game related that I definitely remember of Kobe. I feel like he was the first dude that I know that I ever saw like dunk between his legs in that dunk contest.
on the dunk contest.
Yeah, like that's the first time I know that I recall of ever seeing someone jump up in the air and put the ball between their legs and dunk it. I thought that shit was impossible.
Yeah, like, see, it's so hard. I don't know that. Like, that's why I asked you guys, because there's so many things that like are just running through my head right now. Like, you know how many dunks alone there are? Like when he went behind the back on that guy in Denver.
Son, his first
Todd
3 quarters of
McCullough.
his career, every time he went to the
Yeah,
hoop, he
right?
was looking to dunk on somebody.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And like, I'm not knocking your Jordan thing this time. Like, I get what you're saying, because Jordan had a lot of moments from the time we were like old enough to understand what was going on to the time he retired.
Yeah, like the first year with Jordan, I remember was the Suns final.
Yeah, like you remember that, right? But like with Kobe, it's like I saw everything.
Yeah, you were older, so you remember like when he came into the league.
Yeah, like
yeah,
I was like about to be 10 when he got drafted.
I can understand that. Even yeah,
I guess if I had to pick something, I don't know if I could.
it's got to
I
be
don't
something
know.
early, right? Like one of his first big accomplishments, because
You
like
know, no, I remember him shooting those air balls in Utah, because that was the moment where it was like, that was the first time I felt like sadness from like a sporting event, because I was really like distraught that he shot those air balls. I was like, yo, what the fuck just happened?
that's the answer of a true fan. Is it's not like the top moment. It was the moment that made you realize, like, shit, this dude.
Yeah.
He may have just fucked up, but this dude.
And then I remember later on in life, like when they would actually talk about those air balls, like he shot 4 in a row.
We've
Right?
talked about it before, yeah.
And they asked him they asked him after the game, they said, Kobe, like, you shot 4 air balls. And he's 18 years old. And he looked at him and was like, so? Fuck it. No one else wanted to shoot. And it's like, okay. Like, you had a team, like Shaq was on the team, Eddie Jones
Yeah.
was on the team, Nick Van Exel was on the team, and none of them wanted the ball. And Kobe was like, give it to me. I'm 18. I got this.
During that interview that I was talking about at the beginning of the show, when on ESPN, Dr. J was talking about like retiring and Kobe and shit, one of the things he said is he is one of the only people he has ever seen who at 18 years old came in and mentally and like not physically but ability wise and mentally was ready to play day one in the NBA.
The very first time he met Michael Jordan, he said, I'll bust your ass one-on-one, right?
Yeah, but there's a lot of people that say that kind of shit because
No,
they're young.
not to Mike.
Hold on. Because there's a lot of young people out there. Like, if I was 18 years old and I was good, I don't give a shit who you are. I'm telling everybody I'm busting your ass.
I don't know.
Michael Jordan, though.
Yeah, like, all right. So here, again,
At 18?
so the ESPN
Not like
apparently,
you won't put the
hold on.
shoes and shorts on
Apparently
and do
ESPN
it.
did a
Yes,
really
you
good
will.
job because I'm going to reference this little clip they showed again because he said before that game, his last game where he scored 60, I can't remember who it was, but somebody on the bench for the other team. He was walking by, and he was like, Kobe, we're going to beat you tonight. And he looked at him, and he said, son, I got one rule. If you weren't born when I started playing, you can't talk shit to me.
Yep.
That's funny.
That game was the most Kobe game ever. He took 50 shots. He scored 60 points. He was the reason they were losing, then he was the reason why they were winning. It was the most Kobe shit ever. That shit, it was mad funny because I remember that night, I think you, Kyle, or someone in the group chat asked me if I was going to cry. And I was like, nah. Like,
I did.
Like
Yeah.
I was like, he's going to be, like, he's already been gone. Like, he was hurt so much. Mm-hmm. But then those buckets started dropping, and I was standing up, and he hit that game. He hit the one because Mike Tirico, he said, Kobe, can you give him one last gamer? And he just rose up, and he drilled that shit. Yo, watching the highlights to this day makes my eyes well up, and I don't know why. Like, that shit is so emotional. It's like, that's the last time I get to
That's
see that dude do that.
Why I love sports.
And I remember sitting
That's why
there
I
in the
do
group chat.
sports for a living, son. Like, the emotion that you come with sports, it makes no sense why, but it's there, and it's fucking awesome.
And, like, I remember 2 things. I remember him, 3 things. Him going off, me being the only one in the group chat just putting 40. 45, 50, 52. And then I always think back how I used to tell McCoy, he'll never score another 50-point game again. And he'd be like, never, son. I'd be like, no, never. And he didn't until his last game.
Dude, I remember that night
Saving
because
up
I
lights.
had stepped out for a minute out here. I had it on, and I was like, oh. And then because Kobe had started so bad, I was like, oh, I don't even want to see this. And I had
Yeah,
put my
no, it was
phone
like
down.
that.
I walked my dogs. I was doing something, and then I picked my phone up, and Rich had all these texts in there. And I put that shit back on, and I watched the last, I think the last quarter. And I was like, oh my god, this dude is going off.
So honestly, if you saw nothing of that game but one quarter, that was the quarter you needed to see.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was not even a diehard Laker fan, but I loved Kobe, and I can totally relate to what
Nope.
Rich is
You know
saying
what?
about that shit. You know?
Kobe is one of the few players that when he first came into the league, and this was probably because of the love of Jordan that I had, I hated him. Because when he came into the league, everybody's like, oh, this dude's going to be better than Jordan, blah, blah, blah.
That's why I liked him.
Yeah, and that makes sense why you liked him and I didn't. But as his career went on, whether he was going to be better or Jordan or not, I gained respect for the dude. And, like, in hindsight, yes, he's not Jordan, but that dude was awesome to watch. And his mentality is the same as Jordan's, and that's what I loved most about Mike, which is why I respect Jordan, or why I respect Kobe so much.
It's funny because, like, with each of you, like, Kev, like, we were together getting the alerts when he dropped 81. Like, McCoy, you were with me. Like, it's funny because I have a memory with each of you. Like, I was with Kev when he was dropping 81. I was with McCoy when he hit the mean fade over LeBron in Cleveland. And I remember McCoy grabbed my arm and said, ooh, Kobe. And then I remember being in Earl's room arguing with you, Kyle, about something.
Shocker.
They were playing, it was about the Lakers, and they were playing Utah in the playoffs. And he hit some double clutch bank shot and got fouled. And you looked at me and you're like, forget it, son. You're about to win a championship this year. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, I used to
It was
remember
like
Straub
2009.
drunken Holsteins just going off about Kobe Bryant. We'd always get him fucking pissed off, and he'd be ranting about him.
It's not hard to get me riled
And
up
then-
when I'm drunk, man. Especially when it comes to
That's right.
sports.
That Bundy.
Nah, man, juice puts me in a good mood. That's why I'm drinking it. One of those days you need some relaxation and some good vibes. Give me some juice.
Didn't you want to talk about the McGrady thing?
I did, yes, and that's actually what I was. Actually, there's two topics, so we're gonna do a 2-hour one tonight, I guess. So you sent it. What was it? T-Mac. They wanted
They
to
were going to
draft him.
draft him. Yeah, they're going to draft him.
My initial reaction when you sent it was, "That's a disaster." Your reaction was the opposite.
Yes. Yes.
In the day and a half since you sent it, I have come around to understand, yes, that would have been filthy. My initial reaction was it would have been a disaster because think of Kobe and Shaq and that relationship and how tumultuous it was. Add in T-Mac, who needs the ball and is a superstar, all-star who's scoring. But if they drafted him, he wasn't going to be that. He was going to be the T-Mac with the Raptors, who was under the radar, quiet, and played the second fiddle and was fine with it. That would have been filthy.
My thing was, my initial thought was that's just going to be a problem because T-Mac, like, you can make a solid argument that T-Mac at his peak is better than Kobe.
But we're not talking about T-Mac at his
No,
peak, though.
No, but
And that's
what
why I came around.
Well, then my next step was if they drafted Tracy McGrady, Kobe wouldn't have finished his career with the Lakers.
Yes.
He would have been traded.
And that's where my thought of that would have been a disaster went to. Because it wasn't going to work out. At some point, there were going to be problems if those three were on the same team.
They were going to trade Kobe for Jason Kidd.
They were gonna trade him to the Bulls too if we would have gave who, Dang?
Yep.
Can't get rid of Luau though. Bulls great.
They were going to trade
Right?
him to
How
the Pistons
bad
for
of
like
a
Tayshaun
goddamn
Prince
move
and
is
Chauncey
that?
Billups.
Give up Dang and get Kobe. Nah, we're going to keep Lou All.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Imagine like back then if they had social media and those trades were. Oh, that doesn't even. You said Tayshaun Prince and Chauncey Billups,
And like some draft picks. Yeah.
Luel Dang. Like really?
Yeah, right. He's trading him out like one of the greatest players ever. For
They called the Cavs about LeBron.
did they?
Yeah.
How quick they get hung up on that one?
I guess pretty quick.
So the other thing I wanted to bring up, and I guess we can finish on this one because I'm sure McCoy's going to geek out for a minute. Huge announcement: Disney buying everything. So they now own all of the X-Men and pretty much all the not pretty much, but all of the Marvel Universe. McCoy, what have you read? What have you heard? Is everything going to come together?
Yeah, they're saying it's pretty much like finalized at this point. It's just a matter of like getting everything in order. But when you were talking about Star Wars, I wanted to say that if this deal goes through, right now Disney would own 90% of the box office total for like the past couple weekends.
I mean,
So
for the
that's
past
like-
couple of years, I feel like.
I have a
Yeah,
question
like,
about this
They're
merger.
gonna have all the huge movies.
Go for it, Kev.
So Disney is all family oriented, right?
Yep.
And we have this Disney Fox thing. What's going on with our Family Guy show?
That's still gonna stay. Disney already said like they're not like stuff like that. They're not gonna mess with if it makes money because they asked the head like CEO of Disney about even like Deadpool being like a rated R superhero movie, and he said yeah, you know it seems that there's a market for like the rated R and the more
It
you know
seems like
violent
there's a
stuff like
market.
that. So if it's making money, they're not going to get rid of it. It's all the stuff that's not really producing that they're going to can, like these X-Men movies and stuff. Like, you know, like the show I was talking about earlier. They're probably not going to put that movie out because,
What was the Dark Phoenix that I saw?
yeah, because the thing I was reading about, like stuff like that, is they were like, Disney doesn't really want that movie to come out. And then people get confused of, say, Jean Grey shows up in a Marvel movie now, you know? Because they're like, oh, wait, I just saw Jean Grey and it was Sansa and that movie sucked. So now I don't want to see this movie, you know? So they're going to like, it depends on the product really, but they're like Family Guy and like The Simpsons and that stuff. That's not going anywhere. But like there's some of these movies they're making and they had in production, they're going to can a lot of that shit, honestly.
You know what's crazy is, you know, now that Simpsons is considered Disney, Universal Studios got Simpsons everything up in there, man.
Son, they need to make like a Simpsons land, like more
Oh,
like,
you know they will.
but like the one in Universal is dope. I love that section, but it's
Oh, there's
It's
already
so
what?
small. Well, they've expanded it. They made it
Yeah.
bigger.
What's
I
the one that they
went,
have now?
I'm going. This is the first year that Universal has opened up past midnight for New Year's Eve, so I'm going there, and
Oh,
they
really?
got this whole Duff Beer Gardens, and I'm gonna go hang out in and get my drink on there.
What do
But
they
what
have
I'm-
for the
can they-
Simpsons, Kev?
They have the Quickie Mart, they have the Duff Beer Garden. There's
the 3D ride,
Moe's,
like,
and then there's
I
this
was gonna say they
big
gotta have Moe's.
they got a Krusty Burger.
yeah. And then there's the big 3D ride. But what I'm saying is like, is Disney gonna allow Universal to have all that up in there?
Nope.
Like that's
Oh, yeah,
that's
Universal's
their
not
stuff.
You know what?
now.
Disney,
So
right?
no,
No, that's separate.
here's what they'll do: is they will allow them to have it, but
Probably
they have to
gonna
pay
pay 'em,
royalties.
right? Yeah.
They gotta pay royalties. Yep.
They need to just make like a Simpsons land, like
Well, then they will eventually do that, but while they're building it, they're going to make money off of what Universal is doing while they don't have to do shit. Like, let us just pocket this money.
Simpsons.
And oh, by the way, this money is going to pay for the park that we're going to build that's going to be double the size of yours and put you out of business.
Well, no, what Universal
pretty
just
much.
bought. There's this golf out here in Cali anyway. There's this huge ass golf course behind their amusement park, and they just bought it, and they just signed a deal with Nintendo, and they're about to make this whole Nintendo land back there.
Nice.
really.
Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, I mean, if they make a Simpsons land, they got to combine that shit with Family Guy, dude. I want that shit would be so
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
One big ass.
They just need to make a whole bunch of lands that you can just walk interchangeably through. Harry Potter land, a Lego land, a Simpsons
Alcohol
world, to all
allowed.
sorts of shit, son.
Yeah, that'd be just walk from land to land. That'd be out here.
As long as they allow alcohol, I'm in, because that would be some
Ah, you
fun
know
ass
they want
time.
Simpsons land. They gotta have Duff Man walking around. They gotta have the Duff out there, and then like. In Family Guy land, they could have the Pawtucket Patriot out there.
They got to peel the wrapper back, and then it's just Duff Beer anyways, huh?
Isn't
Remember
it
the
bad
episode where
that
they went
Disney
to the
owns
beer
everything?
factory?
Say that again, Rich.
Like, it's bad that Disney owns everything, right?
Everything, son.
Is it bad?
Yeah, like because all your movies and all your influence and like pop culture is coming from one place. Like they can direct the whole.
Like, yes, but at the
You
same
can control the
time,
news from top to bottom. Yeah.
at the same
Yeah.
time, a lot like when these companies buy other huge companies, they don't really change anything. Like even the employees stay the same. They just buy the
But they
wor-
will,
the
but
the
they will
name.
push their agenda overall.
That. Yes, they can.
So
So yeah, in
What's
that sense,
Disney's
yes, it
agenda?
could be wrong, or it
what's
could
Disney's
be bad.
agenda?
Yeah, like what's their agenda like? Yeah.
Listen,
I
they
don't
got
know.
one. I don't know
Oh,
what
I
it is,
know.
but they got one.
I know they
Yeah.
do.
You know it. They're following it. They're following timelines. McCoy reads
yeah,
it.
right?
And I guarantee you, it's
Goals
not
set
family
every
fun.
about that, man.
Hitting them goals.
Yeah, like I guarantee you that their agenda is not family fun.
Well, not to bring up South Park again, but there's the one South Park episode
Bring up South
where
Park all you want.
Right? I bring up Penn State every other second.
there's the one with South Park with the Jonas Brothers. Have you ever seen that one?
No.
But the Jonas Brothers wear like the purity rings, and they have Mickey Mouse is actually in the episode, and they're controlling everything, and they're like the Jonas Brothers don't want to wear them, and he basically comes in and goes on a rant how they have to wear the purity rings because it makes it so they can sell sex to the kids. And then Mickey starts wilding out. It's mad funny. That whole episode's hilarious. But
I saw a clip recently of how they record lines for. Oh Jesus! I just blanked on
the
his name.
animated, like Lion King,
No, for South Park.
South Park.
The little brother of Kyle. Not Zeke. Ike.
Ike.
Yeah. It's
Canadian
actually one of the guy's daughters that comes in and reads it. Like they just bring in kids and they have him say things like "You're a fucking asshole," and watching them record it because he's holding this little baby in a
Yeah.
onesie who's saying it, and then he's trying not to laugh. It's freaking hysterical.
Yeah. Them dudes are mad funny. They've had like celebrities on that show that would like do the show, but like do voices, but not have their actual name in the credits. So
Nice.
they didn't
Yeah, so you didn't know
you
who it
wouldn't
was?
know it was them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jennifer Aniston wasn't one, and she didn't have her name in the credits, and like it's happened throughout the show. Like George Clooney voiced the dog in it, like just random shit.
Just get them fucked up while they're there. Hey,
Yeah,
try and do this voice for us. Did
Yeah.
you guys
Them
all
dudes
see
are mad fun.
basketball when it came out?
Hell yeah.
A
Just
long
making
time
sure.
ago.
Basketball, hell yeah.
Just
Baseball,
making sure.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Now that you
Neither
say
have
it.
I, but I just thought about it, and it's great.
Basketball. Those guys are funny.
All right. Anything else?
I just wanted to bring up. I just saw this article. Kev was like
Yeah.
about John Daly Jr.
Oh
out
boy.
here.
Getting drunk?
Well, no, he's 13, I guess, and he won some tournament,
Does
some
he have a
five-way
mullet?
playoff over the weekend. And his dad said he's driving like 250 yards as a freshman.
Yeah, you know what clubs
The
he's using
jeans
too.
pops.
It's the first time it's been used in a positive manner.
I hope he has a mullet, and I hope he's using the daily clubs.
He's got a
You
mullet.
know he's got the dailies, man.
I got him. There's right in my
Yeah.
closet here.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. The fellas, we're out.